Due to some audio issues, we are restarting the stream here tonight from the Food City 250 in honor of Chris Perryman and Steve Burns. So tonight of all nights, OBS, my broadcasting software, decided not to pick up my broadcast partner Colin Fern's mic, and he had written such a beautiful eulogy and a memoriam for these two gentlemen that I thought it not right to not include that in tonight's stream. So with that audio fixed, Colin, if you'd like to go ahead and read again what you had said about these two gentlemen, again, the passing of Chris Perryman and Steve Burns.
Of course, John, we have to begin tonight on a somber note. We found out this past week that 2014 ECR Truck Series champion Christopher "The Wolf" Perryman passed away on April 13th. Today, longtime NASCAR broadcaster and pit road reporter Steve Burns lost his battle with stage 4 head and neck cancer. We ask that you join us in a moment of silence for Christopher, Steve, their families and friends during this difficult time. Thank you. Christopher is survived by his parents and his 3 young children, Timothy, Ashley, and Ariana. He was 29. Steve is survived by his wife, his parents, and his 12-year-old son, Bryson, and he was 56. It is with sadness and honor that we here at MOTV, ECR, and everybody who knew these two gentlemen, goodbye to them, and honor them with this 250-lap event, now coined the ECR Food City 250 in honor of Christopher Perryman and Steve Burns. You will see this picture come up throughout the race, and we ask that you donate to the Christopher Perryman Memorial, as it helps his family and, most importantly, his 3 very young children through this very difficult time. Thank you.
And again, apologies for having to restart the stream there, but Colin put some work into that, and I thought it was a touching tribute to these gentlemen. Again, the sudden passing of Steve Burns, who had been battling cancer, well documented over the last few weeks, and then Chris Perryman, who I believe caught most of us here at ECR completely off guard, a guy that we raced with, and I know Colin and I had known probably close to over a year now from previous leagues and public rooms, and the sudden passing of him and Steve Burns, just a somber note to start tonight's event.
And John, it is with great honor we do present the Food City 250 in memory of both Chris Perryman and Steve Burns. And with that being said, we're going to get tonight's events underway with Matthew Dunhorse and Justin Fuller leading practice so far.
Yeah, there's some fast guys out there, and I know a lot of these guys tonight, we'll catch it throughout the night, are running tribute paint schemes and different stickers on their cars in honor of these two gentlemen. I know you passed personally around a picture to run on the hood of a race car, I believe someone has, and then the Steve Burns SPB logos people are running from the Fox event. So we'll keep an eye on those throughout the night. But as you mentioned, some fast cars out there. It is Bristol, and it should be a fairly exciting race as we move forward.
Yeah, John, as the drivers' meeting's closing up here, yeah, it's going to be a fun race. We know we raced last night in the Xfinity Series. Obviously not Voice Motorsport's best night in the league so far this season. But with that being said, it was a lot of fun. It was some good racing. Only 9 cautions. The race went by very quick. It
was a very fast-paced race, and I'm sad to say I spent just over half an hour of it in the pits replacing my motor after running with another car. So, as you mentioned, not the best night, but that's that kind of Bristol luck, and we'll see it tonight. Some of the front runners in the points might struggle out there. It's not really a track where you can avoid trouble, and it should make for an exciting storyline.
And, John, with that being said, the guy probably with the most momentum so far in ECR, Mark Figueroa, finished 3rd in Las Vegas a couple weeks back in the Cup Series, won last week in the Texas race in the Cup Series, and then went last night and got a top 10 in the Xfinity Series. Mark, how do you plan to carry this momentum into Bristol?
Very carefully. Tiptoe very, very carefully through this. I'm just going to try to get the best finish I can tonight.
Absolutely. You're second on the chase grid right now, so you're all but locked into the chase, and all you have to do is complete, I believe, 6 more events. You're doing a great job this season, man, and what are you doing so far this season that's, especially in the latter parts of these races, that are really turning your season around?
I'm just taking it easy. I'm not pushing my car in the early stages of the race, and I wait until the end of the race to really, I guess you can say, show my poker hand. And but yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm up where I'm at, because here after Richmond, I'm going to have to take a 2-week break because of my military obligation with the National Guard. It's going to take me out of 2 races, but I'm just glad that I'm there, and I don't have to fight as hard to get back up there.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for your service once again. And that's Mark Figueroa, last week's winner in the Texas race. He's in the 00 National Guard Chevrolet tonight. Mark, good luck.
Thank you.
And as Colin mentioned, the guy with the most momentum, Mark Figueroa, not sure how he does really in Bristol. We haven't seen many of these guys on Bristol, so it'll be interesting looking at him and going forward if he can continue that success.
Yeah, absolutely, Johnny. Now I'm down here with Kevin Cook in the 45. He's ninth fastest on the charts right now. Kevin, what's your plan out there for tonight?
Oh, I got a pretty good long run car, but I don't have a really good qualifying set, so I'm working on that now and seeing what I can get out of it. But I really don't see getting up above maybe a top 5 at the best if I get a real good lap here.
Well, Kevin, you started out the season on a fantastic note. You finished 9th, 6th, 3rd, and 4th in the first 4 races. Then you struggled at Martinsville and Vegas. You turned it around last week at Texas. How do you plan to keep that momentum going from Texas, carrying into Bristol?
Patience. It's going to take a lot of patience here. It's a lot of laps, and we just got to make it to the end.
Absolutely, man. You have an 8.1 average finish, and you're tied for the most top 10s in all of ECR Cup Series, man. As qualifying's getting ready to get going, good luck tonight in your 45 Star Wars machine.
Thank you.
And as he mentioned quickly there, qualifying setup not the best, Colin, and as we move into qualifying, Bristol, one of those tracks, not only is track position important, but staying on the lead lap. If you start far enough back in the field, you find yourself a lap down not too far into the event.
Yeah, John, I believe we're going to have 24 cars turn a qualifying lap and start the race here when the green flag drops. And 24 cars, with that happening, you're already, if you start 23rd or 24th, you are already a quarter, maybe even a third of the lap down already to start the race. And with traffic slow and the bottleneck effect, you're going to be back there half a lap down within 5 laps.
And the thing about this track as well that we don't see with Martinsville, the other half mile that we run here in this section of the season, you don't really, it just seems like you could put down a lap down so much quicker here because of the speed. At Martinsville, they're slowing down, they're braking hard. You can kind of keep yourself in line. Here, you get spread out, you get, a lap down 20, 30 laps in. And
yeah, it helps, but and again, it hurts you. I guess if you start in the back, the good part is that you do get to stay out of the trouble. Last night, I started 22nd. And stayed out of the first few wrecks, John, and I was able to not pit under yellow and got up into the good track position very quickly.
Yeah, track position on any short track key. Here at Bristol, maybe even more key. The passing is, we see a big pile up in qualifying right now. The passing so difficult with the really the single groove, spreading to a multi-groove, but mainly a single groove racetrack. See Matthew Thunhorse on your pole early. Kind of difficult to pass. So the further up you start, obviously the better. But here, maybe more key than any other track, maybe besides Martinsville.
Yeah, John, the one thing I've been really noticing is that some of the guys are able to turn on the bottom better than they are on the top. And that may help those certain guys out, is if they're able to turn the bottom better, that they're going to be able to pass the guys that are going to be on the outside the majority of the night, as the outside is the preferred line.
Well, they drilled it and drilled it and drilled it into the ground on Sunday night, well, Sunday day, I guess, into Sunday night, was that if you can pass on the bottom, you're at such an advantage. And it really is true that if you can make their car turn on the bottom, you can pretty much go where they're not. And here at Bristol, I mean, that could be up to 3-4 spots a lap if you can make that car turn.
Oh, yeah, John, it's a big factor if you can get the car to turn on the bottom. I've seen a lot of guys be able to get their car on the bottom, but they're not running fast, hot laps. They're just running consistent laps. And those are the guys that you see right now that are, 7th, 8th, 9th, David Groskos, Matthew George, those types of guys that are mid-pack but fast on the long run.
And it is important to note that Bristol is a long-run track. This is a track that you bottleneck so much in the early laps that being able to hot lap on fresh tires really doesn't yield much of an advantage. So starting, maybe those guys in 9th, 10th, 11th that have the race pace, those are going to be the guys I think to keep an eye on. Usually the guys that start up front here tend to struggle a little bit with those longer run setups.
And look at Josh Mayhew, John, go to the top of the charts.
Guy, we haven't called his name a whole lot. I know we have a kind of a connection with him here at Motive, but up to the top of the charts early on. Yeah, your driver there in Moist Motorsports.
Fuller knocks him right off.
And just like that, he's off. Justin Fuller, one of the newer guys to the league. Looking to go out there and continue that run we've seen.
Tonight.
Yep, new guys doing well here in ECR. Saw it with Matthew Thunhorse weeks ago at Auto Club, and it's kind of just kept rolling since then.
Yeah, Jeremy Rubin got the pole last week, and now Justin Fuller currently sits on the pole with 3 minutes into qualifying. And wow, this has been a long 3 minutes.
Yes, sir, it has. We are back to the 10-minute qualifying format again tonight, giving these guys a little bit extra time, which is good from a driver's standpoint, but from a broadcasting standpoint, I guess Bristol's not too bad because it's so action-packed, but 10 minutes, quite a long time. Yeah, the wrecks are fun. And hopefully, again, we mentioned MOTV here. Colin, I know you're sponsoring a little bit tonight. $500,000 in fantasy funds to the driver who finishes 7th. If we have less than, was it 10 cautions? So single-digit cautions tonight. Driver who finishes 7th is going to walk away with $500,000 in fantasy funds. So interesting challenge presented there. Will we have it? We had 9 last night in the 180-lap event. We mentioned tonight's 250 laps. Going to be close. Depends on if these guys can run. Last night we had a really long green flag run. Tonight,
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
We had like a 65. Unfortunately, you know, some people decide to blow their engines right before the caution comes out.
Well, I hit a parked car. It wasn't... What had happened was there was a car sideways on the track, and the one thing to note here quickly on a more serious note is coming off these corners, when there's a car parked off one of these corners, you can't just turn the car on a dime, and I found myself in a position where I was trying to get it low because the top was blocked, and didn't get it low enough, hit the right front, ran about 40 laps, and the engine shut off.
Turn the car on a dime.
No, not with as tight as that setup was. That setup last night was bad. These guys luckily get to adjust on theirs. We didn't have that option, and that was a little rough last night, to say the least. But I spent most of my night in the pits getting that engine replaced, ran the last 12 laps, finished 22nd.
Points, tied for 3rd.
And hang on to 3rd with Kevin Cook, who we interviewed before the race. So.
Kevin Cook, that's right.
Ooh, Aaron Vincent killed the inside
I
wall.
lost the points lead.
Yes, you're
the points lead, so I'm kind of upset about that.
My broadcast partner here, Colin Fern, is no longer your Xfinity Series points leader, but you're only 8 points back in 2nd, and we're going into a string of tracks.
There's an error there. I'm 7 points back.
7 points? Well, we go to Richmond, and then is it Talladega?
I believe so, and
you know
the favorites are at Dega.
Yeah, you and I work well together at Super Speedway. So going to Dega.
Until you decide to get loose off turn 4 at Charlotte, and
yeah, we wasn't it lap. I think it was lap 3. Anyway, lap 3 into a 600-mile event and didn't go so well. But Justin Fuller.
If you guys want to hear a funny story, John? There's a glitch in iRacing sometimes where you like to exit your car when you're on pit road.
All right. Well, since you
want a little more damage fixed,
since you want to oust me, Matthew Thunhorse to the pole, by the way.
Look at that. That's a great lap.
Talking a little bit about the race here. But since you want to oust me going back to Talladega, I'll go ahead and own up to it because it was an honest mistake. There used to be a bug in iRacing, for those of you, most of you probably remember it, where it wouldn't fix all your damage, so you'd have to back out of your pit, remove your windshield thing, come back in, escape, something like that. But anyway, I backed out first, escaped from the pit stall behind mine, and that was a 4.5-minute tow. So I lost 2 laps in a 35-lap event and ended up finishing probably close to dead last. Not one of my prouder moments. Colin did hit the end of pit wall once at Iowa, though, pitting.
Oh,
under caution. It wasn't like it was under green. It was under caution, and you drilled the barrels at the end of pit road.
Fake pit. I was trying to get some. I was in the lead.
That's even worse. That's even worse. You weren't even trying to pit.
No, it's all right.
It's all right. We all have moments.
Fine. There's a lot of wrecks here. I hope we don't have as many wrecks.
I've just been leaving on AJ. He's been staying out of them, trying to run some nice calm laps here.
7th on the grid right now.
So you see some guys jumping up there. Mark Figueroa was 2nd. He's back to 5th. Mayu back to 4th. Fuller to 3rd. Kevin Cook to P2 on the board.
Wow, nice lap by Kevin Cook there.
Here we are blabbing about how stupid we are. We're missing some great racing. Thunhorse goes around and kills Stephen Massey. Justin Blandon to him. Man, I hope we don't see this tonight. Oh, and John Knoll just didn't even try. Right into his door. Thitchner rolls by on the bottom. Harrell. We're going to be seeing that a lot tonight, folks. When you wreck here at Bristol, there is just nowhere to go.
I do like that if you look from 1st all the way back to 20th of the 20 cars that have turned a lap in qualifying, they are all within 0.42 of each other.
One thing that gets lost at Bristol, I think, a lot is that, in a sense, you can compare this to a super speedway. Because the qualifying times here are so close. You see the top 5 separated by 6/1000ths of a second. You really do, because they run such slow.
That's going to be fun.
That is. I missed Daytona was kind of rough because we had the duels, but it'll be exciting to see how these things work with that open car qualifying at Talladega. Again, right here, 9:23 Eastern Standard Time. That's 2 weeks from today. Next week is Richmond, 9:23 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/I'mJoeCabs, home of MOTV and the ECR Elite Championship Racing Series. We are in week 8. It's moving along pretty well. Coming up, or excuse me, race 8, technically week 9, coming up. already making our way
on top of things.
almost past a third of the way into the chase after this week.
Yeah, John. I mean, we're off to a huge start. I mean, I don't know. We're under a fourth of the way, obviously. I mean, we're
To the chase. We're a third after
tonight,
tonight, roughly.
After tonight, we're going to have 18 races only until the chase.
And then once the chase starts, everything goes out the window, because then we're going to get crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, the way this league's recruiting and growing should have near full fields by then, I would think. We're picking up two, 3 new guys a week.
An Xfinity race and
You know, I would be so excited if we got to the point. Well, I don't know. I qualified 22nd at Bristol, but I would be so excited.
22nd at Bristol.
Did you? I qualified 19th,
Yeah,
finished 22nd.
Oh, Josh Mayu to the top of the charts.
Josh Mayu out of
Almost
nowhere.
14-second lap.
Look at the 15:01, folks. 15:01.
I want you guys to. We saw this on the NASCAR on Fox broadcast, and I want you guys to try to think of stuff that you can do in 15 seconds, because there's not a lot of things you can do in 15 seconds.
And these guys are running a half mile in 15 seconds. It's hard to fathom. Like Colin said, 15 seconds is not that much time. It's probably how long it takes you to, I don't know, take a sip of water, take a bite of a cookie. I don't know. Probably 15 seconds. These guys are running half a mile.
It's just absolutely insane the way these guys are able to just drive around this place, right up next to the wall.
And one thing that I find interesting, too, is that somehow once the race starts, the lap times slow down, but not by that much for being that congested.
No, the tire fall-off is not bad here. So once these guys get spread out, it's actually very similar lap times.
And the reason the tire fall-off isn't bad is because of the banking. There's not a whole lot of strain on the tires here. These banks are comparable to Daytona, and so you're essentially running a slower speed Daytona. And so the thing that gets the most amount of wear here is your brakes. And in virtual racing, we don't have brakes that wear, I don't believe. So pretty much set and golden tonight. You can go out there and run hard.
Yeah, and the thing that, Matthew Dunhorse gets out. I don't think he's going to be able to get out. And Josh Mayu, John, I believe, is going to be on your pole.
Yeah, I was just going to say, qualifying closing up, it looks like Josh Mayu, by 20 thousandths of a second, going to hold on to your pole with a 15:01.
I like seeing that.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, Josh Mayu is owned. A little bit of bias there by my broadcast partner here, Colin Fern, but nothing wrong with that. No advantage to having your owner in the booth. Actually, probably a disadvantage the way that curse works with us calling people out. So, congratulations, boss.
I got to talk about Chaffin tonight. I know he's going to watch this after the race, and Chaffin wrecked me last night, so I got to talk about him tonight. Maybe the old curse will work on him.
Yeah, we'll spotlight him for the first 80 laps.
All right, we're going to bring down AJ Scarborough, John, for our in-race reporter. AJ Scarborough, you got a copy, buddy?
10-4.
Hey, buddy. You ran good last night in the Xfinity Series race, and you made a mistake, and you got a black flag on pit road, commitment cone, and then you fell to the back, and you drove your way back up to the front. You're at 7th tonight, so good luck tonight. And how do you plan on staying up there?
Man, I just wanted to I'm fine with staying right where I'm at. Just a nice, clean, solid race. No incidents, no wrecks. Just get a solid finish, get out of Bristol alive. I'll be happy.
Well, currently right now you hold the ECR chase cutoff spot. You do so very I shouldn't say cleanly, but you hold it off very well because you have good runs, and you currently hold a 2-point lead over your teammate Wayne Willard. How do you plan on improving your points position throughout the year?
Just having nice, solid finishes, putting in time during the week, getting the setup ready for Tuesday.
And obviously you've had fast cars throughout the past few weeks, and you just haven't gotten the finishes. What can you change that's going to help you out?
I can't answer that question. If I could answer that question, I'd be in the top 5 right now. I wish I could, man. There's just as soon as I feel comfortable or something happens, something of my own doing that takes me out of a lot of races.
Well, absolutely, man. Well, AJ Scarborough, everybody's going to start 5th tonight. And AJ, good luck. Or excuse me, he's going to start 7th tonight in his number 5 Chevrolet for Haters Make Us Famous Racing. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Something AJ mentioned there that I found interesting was it's something I went into last night's race thinking, and a lot of guys going to Bristol is just survive and advance, almost kind of like the Final Four bracket, and just get through it. And one thing that I found last night, obviously spending most of my nights in the pits, was that surviving's difficult because I kept my nose clean, I stayed off people, I gave room, and somebody wrecks a straightaway ahead, and there's just nowhere you can go. And so Bristol's a very interesting place. I think it's something we're going to have to watch out tonight. But Colin, you want to go ahead and run down our top 15 or so, and we'll get this thing kicked off.
Yeah, absolutely. On the pole, Josh Mayhew, 61, his first career ever pole in ECR. Matthew Dunhorse always running up front. He's going to start in the inside front row, starting second in the sixth. Kevin Cook's going to start third. We talked to him earlier. And newcomer to the league, Justin Fuller, is going to start on the outside, number 51 in his Toyota Camry. Mark Figueroa, we talked to him, Johnny's last week's winner. He's going to start fifth. And on the outside of him, Corey Chaffin with his best start in a long time, 33. He's going to start sixth. AJ Scarborough, we just talked to him. He's going to start seventh. And Jeremy Rubin, last week's pole setter, is going to start eighth. Anthony Fisher, the chase grid leader right now with 3 victories. He's looking for his fourth tonight. On the outside of him, rookie John Knoll in the 90 is going to start 10th. Right behind him, 2 more rookies, Matt Moritz in the 16 and Will Prue in the 83. They're going to start in row 6. Aaron Vincent, 13th. David Grosskos, 14th. Matthew George, 15th, hoping to improve his standings position. Rob Burns, 16th, our points leader. Caleb Sheets, Chuck Carroll, Justin Bland, and Stephen Massey round out the top 20 down, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing.
And again, this event all in memory of Steve Burns and Chris Perryman. Their late passing here today, we found out, and just want to give another picture up here before we go green of the donation page. You guys can head on there and donate. Chris Perryman leaves behind 3 kids. Steve Burns leaves behind a wife and a kid in a sad passing. But we're getting ready to go green, Colin, kick this thing off.
Absolutely, and what a great restart by Josh Mayhew and Justin Fuller on the outside lane. You're going to see the outside lane working a lot. Justin Fuller sticks it to the outside. Mayyew's going to lose the lead. Side by side down the back stretch into turn 3, and Justin Fuller starting 4th and wasting no time to get up to the lead.
And we know these guys want to put on a show tonight. These guys are all very on call today when it came to when we put out the message about the passings of those 2 gentlemen, and these guys really want to step up and put on a show, so we expect to see some great racing out there tonight. And our in-race reporter.
Someone else.
Piling in the 28, the 11 catches a piece of it. Wrecking on up ahead, the 34's involved.
Jeremy Rubin got loose off turn 2, John, and just hooked. Wow. Just hooked the 5, and we talked to him.
Let me go back and get a look here. What exactly happened?
Vincent once again involved.
34, you can see him up at the wall. Looks like he just gets back in the throttle too quick around. He goes, what a job of Anthony to miss that.
Yeah, definitely. And
looks
John
like the
Nolan
49 catches a piece. The 50 just squeezes by. 28's in it. The 11 was in it.
5
looks
cars
like
I count in that one.
Those are going to be the drivers that are involved in tonight's first event. What a tough break. Again, that's Bristol. I was just talking about how these guys would put on a show and race hard, and that's a product of it here at Bristol. Just got back on the throttle a little too quick, and just like that, a lot of guys tonight's not over, but certainly a damper. I want to go back really quick and get a look of Anthony Pitcher's nose.
It's obviously lucky, but unlucky at the same time. Obviously, it's never lucky to get caught up in a wreck, but the fact that it's early enough in a race, you're gonna have time to fix it. It's gonna help you out.
Yeah, they're certainly not over yet. I mean, there's no doubt here we're gonna go on board with Anthony and get a look through his nose at just what he saw. What a great job by our league owner, stepping on the brakes, getting his way through that, and surviving. But you mentioned still a lot of time left. Certainly not, like I mentioned, over. It puts a damper on their night, and certainly not what they wanted, but you can get a lot of aero fixed here and get back out there and run around. Looks like some of those guys like Aaron Vincent in the 11 caught just a little piece of it, so they should be okay to continue.
And John, I'm just getting word that points leader Rob Burns in the 12 was involved in that wreck right there.
Coming off of last week or the week before that, his great run that he had, and then tonight getting caught up in the first wreck here on lap, what was it, 3, I believe, of tonight's event?
I don't see him getting... Yeah, he did. Okay, yeah, he did.
And he is currently showing 1 lap down, so already a lap down, your points leader, Rob Burns. And it looks
Everyone
like...
just checked up and just hit the 28.
That's another thing, too, we haven't talked about. We talked about it so much at Martinsville as the accordion effect.
Yep.
We didn't talk about it a lot in qualifying, even though we saw it. I mean, they just stack here so bad, and there's just really nowhere you can go.
There's really not, John. And it's wider than Martinsville, it's bigger than Martinsville, it's higher banked than Martinsville, but in the end, it's Martinsville.
Still a short track.
Yeah.
You're still putting all these 3,800-pound cars on a half-mile track and asking them to go out and run just absurd speeds for the size of the track they're on, and when that happens, you get results like that. These guys are going into the corners at 140 miles an hour, which may not seem like a lot, but this track's only a half mile. Straightaways are only bordering, what, a tenth of a mile, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. But, John, 24 people took the green flag, and already we only have 17 left on the lead lap.
And that's Bristol in a nutshell right there, but we are doubling up, getting ready to go green here. Your leader, Justin Fuller, the new guy to the league, looking to hold on to it.
Is that a right front damage I see on this car, John?
I think he might have tapped the wall just a little bit. We see a Camry there, new to the field.
Yeah.
Don't see many of those around, but he's taking the outside lane here with that number 51 machine.
It's ADA sign wraps.com machine.
It's a beautiful paint scheme.
Beautiful paint scheme, very much is. So he's going to get ready to restart this race on the outside front row. Justin Fuller pace cars off. Justin Fuller, green flag, get a great jump.
It's a really good place to jump all night, Colin. I think that's going to be the spot.
Yeah, as soon as you get on that flats on the high side.
Sorting out up front the racing
really,
everywhere.
Really? I think they're going to get sorted out rather quick. Oh, Fuller in the wall again. Just scraping it down the front stretch. Obviously here, it's not really that big of a deal.
Good battle for the lead shaping up already. We know Matthew Thunhorse not one to wait very long. He got it stolen from him last week with Mark Figueroa. Doesn't want a repeat of that.
He's been so close. You know, I coined him in our power rankings, John, here on MOTV, that he's the bridesmaid, and he preferred to be called the groomsman. And, so he's having fun with the second place finishes. He knows that second's not awful, and he knows that that win's just right around the corners. Wayne Willard right there goes 8 laps down.
It's coming. It has to be. I mean, we see it with Kevin Harvick years ago, or he finished second, and then just had a breakout year, won the championship. Matthew Thunhorst, his day to be the groom or the bride, whatever you want to call it, is coming, and I think it very well might be tonight. He's running up front of the track where the lead is very important, and once you can get it, it's really hard to get back.
Oh, yeah, he's looking. See, John, the only problem is that I see Fuller. He's running right up on that wall, and I wasn't seeing Matthew as one of those guys that could pass on the inside.
No, again, that's where kind of the flip of your normal track tonight. It's Fuller maybe touches the wall a little bit there. Normally the bottom line's the fast line, the shortest way around the track. Tonight with the progressive banking and the momentum of this track, the top side's going to be where you see these guys running, and in order to pass on the bottom, you have to clear them before exit, and that's so difficult to do, because in order to clear them, which actually, Colin, in all honesty, does help you go a little bit quicker. It is a black flaggable offense, and I don't think he's doing it on purpose, but there is a thing called wall riding, which is essentially tapping the wall to use it as your brake, and it does speed you up just a little bit. But no, if he was doing it, we'd be able to tell he was doing it.
Yeah, you'd be able to see it. You know,
hard into the wall there.
Matthew Thunhorse dives it to the bottom.
Looking to the bottom now.
Inside, and you see that run that Fuller gets off right there, John. That's
you just, when you're on the bottom, it's on such a tight track. Kevin Cook now looking to the bottom. You just can't get back into the throttle. You see Kevin Cook making it stick a little better, but you just can't pick it up, and so you can't get off the corner. That's where you lose all your time. Fuller in the wall again in the middle of the corner.
And John, you see Kevin Cook making a pass on the inside, and I told you, I said I think he's one of those guys that can make his car work on the bottom.
And if he can make it work on the bottom and get up there and get that lead, passing him is going to be so difficult if he's able to block 2 lanes.
Absolutely. And Mayu and Anthony Fisher, Corey Chaffin, John Noel, all those guys making their ways back into the field.
Yeah, Anthony Fisher up into your top 5. Looking at Josh Mayu, who's fallen off the pace of the leaders. He's in 4th. He's a good second behind your third place runner, Matthew Thunhorse, really struggling to find some grip in that car.
In the wall again, and Kevin Cook's there.
Got maybe our first battle shaping up for the lead tonight. Kevin Cook looking under the 51. Nothing really there. Again, Colin, it's so hard to pass here.
It really is, John. Track position's everything, and I wouldn't be surprised, you know, to see. I mean, we saw last night. Everybody, winner Caleb Thomas led every single lap. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
We kid you not,
because he can't pass.
It was a 180 lap event. Caleb Thomas led 180 laps. He went wire to wire at Bristol, something that actually isn't all that rare, but is still pretty outstanding feat.
And John, the one guy who was really catching him before that caution came out there on that long green flag run was Kevin Cook in the 45, and he's right there now.
Kevin Cook strikes me as one of those guys that's good on what I call weird tracks. He won Daytona in the Xfinity Series. He's really good at Bristol. I'm sure he's going to be good at tracks like Darlington and Dover.
And I think he's going to be really good on the road courses, too.
In tracks that just step outside of the norm. And there are guys that run like that. And a caution out.
Caution's out.
Looks like the 16 of Matt Moritz may be caught up in something there. Let me go back and get a look here. Matt Moritz was up into the wall. The 65 looks like he tried to take it 3 wide. And Moritz had nowhere to go, and Wayne Willard just sneaking by.
Wow, Wayne Willard did a great job.
Wayne Willard already multiple laps down.
Job right there.
Yeah, good job by Matt Moritz, too, getting that car off the track. not leaving it sitting up there like someone did last night who I ran into.
Lap 23, coming to lap 24, John.
Race is moving by at a quick pace.
Do you pit?
I think if you're in the lead, you don't. Again, track position is so key.
Nobody's pitting in the back.
I think if maybe the
And
last
Mark
5
Figueroa,
cars.
I believe, will be receiving the lucky dog.
Something else we haven't talked about either is a split pit road here. I believe we have, you said 24 drivers?
24 drivers.
And so I believe
we'll
that
have
puts
2 or 3
one,
back
2, or
stretch.
3 on the backstretch. So
Yeah.
remember, with the split pit road here, in real life you have to loop all the way around under caution. In iRacing, they don't have that, so you just pit on your pit road. We had an argument pre-race last night in TeamSpeak about if that was an advantage or not. I don't really know enough about it, but 2 sides to every coin. Some think it's an advantage to have it on the back. Some think it's a disadvantage. Myself, I don't think it personally matters. I think it would be unbalanced if it were either or, but some guys feel it's an advantage to pit on either side of pit road, and so we'll see tonight just how that plays out. But there is a very different pit road here. It is split due to the nature of the track.
It makes it very interesting to see some of the leaders coming down now, John. It looks like Aaron Vincent and a couple other guys, Jeremy Rubin, John Knoll, and a few others coming down pit road right there.
Yeah, I think it's a split call here. The fuel window is so large that we're not in it yet, but it's not
You're
long
only gonna
before
have
we
to pit
are.
one time for fuel.
Yeah, you're only going to have to
pit
make...
once for fuel.
Well, they pit this early, I don't know. I assume they can't go 225 laps on a tank of fuel. I believe
Or
the fuel window's
tires.
about 150-ish in these cars, so not there yet, which is why it's curious to me to pit yet, because 25 laps at Bristol is like 4 laps at Texas. It's not that long of a run, and so
Yeah.
interesting call. Again, if you're towards the back, why not? You don't pay for any of this stuff. There's no team budgets on fuel or tires or anything like that, but interesting call early on for some of these guys middle of the pack that brought it down. Aaron Vincent was one of them. 42 brought it down. Again, Christopher Cole having another good run.
Yeah, and he's running 16th right now, John, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him 6th at the end of the night.
Yeah, he'll be top 5 before we get to halfway. That's just the way Christopher Cole runs. Quietly works his way through. He never really challenges for the lead, so we don't see him, but he's always in that top 10.
Well, unfortunately, you see everyone here watching the race. You can see him in the chat. Everyone's favorite Brazilian redneck. Not racing tonight. He's in Sao Paulo, Brazil, visiting family. And Luis, it sucks that you can't be in the race tonight, man, but we're glad that you're here in the broadcast, as well as Charles Silver and I believe always Nick Olson.
Always good to have Luis along again. We talk about him every week. He watches it after, and tonight he gets to hear us talk about him live. So glad to have you along, Luis. We hope you're enjoying the weather down there and hanging out with your family, and we're glad to have you tag along. We look to see you back in your car either next week or the week after, and get back at it. Good finish a week ago, and hoping to build on
I
that.
want to go to Brazil.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I'll go to
Luis,
Brazil.
bring me with you. What is it? World Cup's going to Brazil, right?
I think
Or is
so.
it
I
the
don't follow
Olympics? Or
soccer.
is it the Olympics?
Might
I
be
think it's
the Olympics.
are going- Yeah, I think it's the Olympics.
Let's not show off how ignorant we are to other sports other than racing, because that's kind of the stereotype that we're stuck with.
Come on, I like soccer. Sometimes I like FIFA.
Anyway, we're going green. No red cards here, only green flags, and
Oh,
Kevin Cook spun the tires big time on that inside line, and that's going to bottom up. Corey Chaffin looking at Anthony, always good on restarts, especially when other people get bad breaks. But up into the wall in the back, somebody, I believe,
I think it's John
50 and Matthew George touched it a little bit.
Is he?
See the 83 Will Prue working inside the 50 there. The 50 maybe touching it again as John Knowles nowhere to go behind the 11.
Corey Chaffin up to 5th. Josh Mayu falling back to 6th after he started on the pole. Didn't even get the lead a lap, John.
Kevin Cook, a very patient driver. Anthony Thitcher, not a very patient driver. He will get to that lead, I'm saying, in less than 5 laps.
And he will keep it, too, because he knows how to restart races in a track like Bristol where you're going to have a caution, every 25, 30 laps. It really helps out a guy like Anthony. Maybe even Justin. We haven't really been able to learn his trends yet.
Yeah, now Justin, he's been in the lead. We haven't really got to see him race yet, and so it'll be interesting to see if he loses the lead, what kind of driver he is. We kind of make mental notes, and we've got our aggressive guys, we've got our patient guys, and everything in between. So looking forward to see what he does. Working lap 32. Anthony Thitcher is there, but again, it's Bristol. Not much he can do with it.
Yep. And I think the only ones that I've seen so far that's been able to hold the bottom is Kevin Cook, running that middle low line. And
Kevin Cook's got a really good line.
And what you see, John, is that you're able, from entrance through the center, the guy on the bottom goes faster, but from the center of the corner to exit, basically all the way to the next turn, the guy on the outside gets the advantage.
And obviously the straightaway, the fastest part of the track, so the guy with the fastest speed going to have the biggest advantage, and that, in a nutshell, is why passing on the bottom is so hard. But these 4 guys under a blanket right now and looking to make moves. I'm sure they don't want to wait too long, especially that number 87 car.
Yeah, John, I mean, he's off to a great start. He has nothing to lose. He's the only one of these 4 drivers to go to victory lane this season. He's the only one locked in the chase.
That is true. Anthony Titchener, the only one up there with absolutely nothing to lose. Justin Fuller, obviously the newcomer, wants to prove himself. Kevin Cook and Matthew Thunhorse still looking for that chase ticket.
Anthony got a good run there off turn 2.
I think he gets him before lap 50.
Working lap 37 this time by. Very quick race here at Bristol. As we said, 15 seconds a lap, a minute for every 4 laps we have.
And we are coming up, Colin, on, again, the sponsors of tonight's event, in memory of Kris Perryman and Steve Burns. We are going to take a 5-lap moment of silence at lap 41, Kris Perryman's number, and we're going to run that for his 3 children that he left behind and the wife and child of Steve Burns, who was left with his passing. So on lap 41, we'll take a 5-lap moment of silence. We'll show you the race, kind of like a Fox Sports Crank It Up in memory of Steve Burns and Kris Perryman.
Absolutely, John, once again. Number 41, Kris Perryman, last year's Truck Series champion. Anthony Titchener into the wall hard. Kevin Cook underneath him. Slides all the way up. Great slide job right there. It's beautiful.
So we'll keep you with the lead. We'll pan around to some of the cars I've seen running those paint schemes, and we'll catch you guys back here in 5 laps. But again, tonight's event in memory of Kris Perryman and Steve Burns. We'll have a 5-lap moment of silence, and we'll see you guys back here in 5 laps. Alrighty, folks, and welcome back. Again, a 5-lap moment of silence there for the passing of Kris Perryman and Steve Burns. I'll pull up the picture one more time. As Colin mentioned, if you guys have any spare change laying around, Kris Perryman's passing left behind 3 small children, all under the age of 5. His father started up a donation plan to help out with those costs. If you guys feel the need to donate, the number's on your screen now. You can contact Colin or I over Facebook at any time. We'll be more than happy to give you that number. Or check back to the broadcast, and Colin put it up on Facebook as well. Just different things to help out. We here at MOTV and ECR obviously can never begin to repay what they lost, but we do our best, and just to honor them and remember them. Again, Kris Perryman, we raced with him for a little over a year in different leagues, and obviously Steve Burns, known nationally, maybe even globally, for his battle with cancer. So a tough loss, and we do our best here to remember them and honor what they left behind.
Absolutely, John. And these guys are putting on one hell of a show for those 2 men right now. As Kevin Cook right now is looking, he's been looking in the hoping to succeed in a pass on the 51 of Just Fuller. They're wrecking in turn 1.
Big wreck down there in turn 1. 2 cars caught up in it. No caution yet. AJ Scarborough, all kinds of smoke pouring out of the machine. Stephen Massey tore up as well. AJ's going to have to bring that to pit road. No caution for that. It was off the racing service. Race control didn't see the need. Hibachi girl going down pit road in the number 5 car, but tough break. AJ Scarborough's night went from bad to horrible.
And John, with this green flag run, Justin Fuller is putting on a claim. Only 11 cars left on the lead lap now.
I was just going to mention, we were watching under that moment of silence there, that he was picking up and putting down lap cars. I mean, he was passing lap traffic here, generally difficult. He made it look easy. He was passing them 3-4 at a time. And Kevin Cook stayed right on his tail. Very respectful by these guys out there. Usually they try to hold him up. Not tonight, letting him by. Really flying out there right now, the number 51. But Kevin Cook hanging right there, only 4/10 back.
Yeah, John, he's doing a great job. Kevin Cook in the 45 Star Wars machine, and I know he's happy to see the Star Wars trailer come out this past week, and he's trying to put on a good show, obviously, for the Star Wars and everybody. You know, Star Wars comes out 260 out something days, but cool deal for Kevin Cook out there, and he's trying to close in on Justin Foley.
I was wondering why that sponsorship was relevant, because Star Wars had kind of been dormant for a long time. I completely forgot they were releasing another movie.
Yeah, December 12th or something like that. I don't know.
Well, Kevin Cook will be psyched to see that.
I've never watched any of them.
I have not either, and I know that's probably going to get us probably picked on a little bit, but
Yeah.
I've never seen a Star Wars movie myself either.
I've seen Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter.
Haven't seen that either. I don't watch a lot of
You haven't
movies, to
seen
be
Harry
honest.
Potter?
No.
Oh my god.
See, this is why I can't be personal on broadcast, because it just gets me picked on.
I mean, and you're a Cleveland fan, which...
It's all
Yeah,
bad
it's
for
all
me,
right.
Colin. It's all bad
Did
for
the
me.
Indians end up losing yesterday?
Yeah, they lost.
Uh,
For any of you fellow Indians fans, which I hope to God there are none, the Indians gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and we have a
and
caution
Caution's
out. Their night went
That's
just
Corey
about
Chaffin, who was having such a good run, John.
as bad as Corey's night just turned. Not a good night for him. See, the
He's having
front
such
end
a good
already
run.
gone off that race
He got
car.
loose and came down on the 42 of the Kris Coy.
Oh, Kris Coy.
He didn't hit anything that bad. I think he should be all right.
So we see here
He was going to go 3 laps down.
the 42 was a lap car going laps down. He didn't. I don't think the 42 did anything wrong looking at this replay.
No, I think the 33.
Oh, 33.
The leaders come down the...
Kind of pogoed off the wall there into the 42. Tough break.
And Justin Fuller pits onto the lead with Anthony Titchener and Matthew Thunhorse, and Kevin Cook stays out.
Kevin Cook, tough break that's going to be.
All of the leaders pitting, every single one. And Aaron Vincent also stayed out, John.
You know, he pitted the last caution, and I honestly think that's a fantastic move on his part. You have to stay out and use the track position gain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that strategy works.
I hear you. I know what you're saying. And Mark Figueroa, I believe, is going to get the lucky dog back for the second time tonight. 2 lucky dogs by Mark Figueroa.
Mark having a good night. We do have a chat
Yeah.
question, Colin. Charles Silver wants to know, have you seen Furious 7?
I have, and cried. I did.
I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies. I want to see them.
I was a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies, and the way the movie ended, everyone in that series, or the director and everybody, did a great job on respecting Paul Walker's death, and it is a good deal. They did a great job on it, and I think they did it very respectfully and probably the best way they possibly could have.
To work in a
was
Mike
very
Joy
sad.
pun here, coming off that, going Fast and Furious around Bristol tonight. Did I do good?
You did.
Did I-
And
did I-
Nick Olson had a track
Fast
meet,
and Furious track meet?
I want to know if Nick won his track meet. Did you
Sorry.
win your track meet?
In honor of Mike Joy, I had to work in the terrible pun there. He likes to make puns off promos, and I figured why not?
Let's see. The one and only Nick Olson in the house. Next movie will be in the Big Apple. I saw that.
They're making another one?
They are. They're making a Furious
Straight
8, I
up.
believe.
Good for them.
I just like watching Vin Diesel and The Rock fight all the time.
I need to catch up on those. Nick Olson won his track meet. Let's see if he can get his first career win as an owner here tonight. What a night that would be for Nick Olson.
All right, what do you run, Nick? 400? 800? What do you run? Relay? God, tell me. Curious.
Again, as a NASCAR fan,
Yeah.
I'm so ignorant to other sports.
You know, like, track it's NASCAR with feet.
That needs to be their new motto in the Olympics.
They,
NASCAR with
They
feet.
just go left. They just go left.
I guess they do. You're right. That's a good point. I should like that as much as I love turning left. Anyway, real quick, before Nick
Exactly.
answers that, your top 5 here. Kevin Cook, Aaron Vincent stay out. Next on Fresh Tires, Justin Fuller, Matthew Thunhorse, Chuck Harrell, Josh Mayhew, John Knoll, and then Anthony Titchener all the way back to 8th. Struggles
Yeah,
on the
John,
pit
tough
stop
break
or
for
a
him.
different strategy there? Interesting run there. Matthew
I
George
think he
9th,
may
Matt
have just
Marine's
had
10th.
struggles.
And we'll go ahead and round out your lead lap cars. Only 11. Mark Figueroa in 11th.
4 guys 1 lap down. John Justin Blaine, Caleb Sheets, Will Prue, and Stephen Massey all 1 lap down. Kris Coy and Corey Chaffin 2 laps down. David Gross coast 3 laps down. We're getting ready to go green flag racing, John, here on lap 63. Come to lap 64. Quick race already. We got 178 laps left to go. 177 this time by.
188.
And come on, I was doing good at math.
I cheated. I have a green number there that tells me. Anyway, speaking of green, the green flag's out and Kevin Cook is gone. And Aaron Vincent is not. Justin Fuller, nowhere to go on the bottom. I'm going to lose a lot of spots.
Dissing my math skills and then just calling green flag so I can't even back it up.
That's what I do, boss.
Kind of upset about that.
On Monday nights, you're my owner. On Tuesday nights, I'm your partner. I'm allowed to do things like that on Tuesday nights. Kevin Cook, the hole in the lead. Dunhorst is there.
I don't think he's gonna be able to pass him on the bottom, John. We saw Matthew trying to get around Justin Fuller on the bottom, and he wasn't able to do it. There you go. He did what he had to do. He had to get the run off the corner.
Hook that bottom really well.
With those fresh tires, John. I mean, so
Justin
much
Fuller there as well.
I mean, he's got 60 lap fresher tires than Kevin Cook, and he's still not able to get around.
You can see how.
That just shows you how much track position means here. Aaron Vincent, who has damage, is in 4th right now. Doing a great job in his number 49 machine.
If there was a track where track position and everything, you're looking at it. You cannot pass at Bristol. Even Martinsville, you can bump a guy up, and once you bump him up, you can pass him. Here, you ride the wall, and so you really can't get to someone's outside unless they just make a mistake. 51, great save there down the back.
I know Justin. He's from the 607, from Shenango County. I know he's going to hopefully watch this, and I'm sorry that we're both from Shenango County, Justin. But, you know, he's a Kyle Busch fan, so I have to kind of pick on him a little bit.
And caution on the racetrack.
Not sure for who.
Looks like Matt Moritz again.
Oh, wow.
Josh Mayu may be caught up in that one a little bit. Maybe not Matt Moritz, maybe ahead of him.
Josh Mayu was the cause of the caution, it looks like. He just got loose and came down, hit the inside wall hard.
Oh, and the 16 gets caught with the 42 who was trying to avoid it. Gonna go back here,
break for both those guys.
Get a look at the 61. Your pole sitter tonight, the 61.
That's a tough break for them. He was having such a good run, too. Just got loose on the bottom, and he's smoking. That's not good.
Yep, you can see here coming out. He's going down the front stretch, and what happens is you just get back on the throttle too soon, too aggressive, and these cars just put... Actually, right there, it looks like he was trying to keep it off Aaron Vincent, who was slow on the high side, and the inside wall is not friendly. Safer barrier or not, took a toll on that race car. So his night, maybe not over, but certainly a huge setback for the 61.
I mean, 31 minutes of damage, right?
Well, it might not be completely total. That smoke's got some white in it. He might be able to get that repaired. It most likely will quit at some point, though. And remember, iRacing's new damage model, you can get an engine replaced, but as I found out last night, it takes 30 minutes. And so that's a long time at Bristol. That's a lot of laps.
How many laps? Was it 68 laps?
68 laps down I went. Yep, sitting in the pits. But that was with 5 or 6 cautions. So under green, that's double that, even triple that. So tough break for the 61 of Josh Mayu.
Kevin Cook pitting under green, John, or under yellow. Matthew Dunhorst is going to take over the lead.
Kind of has to here, I think. Kevin Cook, really no choice.
With only 12 cars on the lead lap, 11 now that Josh Mayu is going to be down there. I think it's probably the best decision.
Starting with a car with fresh tires inside, pretty much going to be dead in the turn 1 and not where he wants to be at all.
Yep.
So a good move here to pit and get things worked out. And again, we will be running tonight's broadcast, kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision here, but commercial-free. I'm not going to make you guys sit through any ads. I figure that only fair with tonight's message we're sending across. And again, apologies if Colin and I seem a bit off. We're more distraught about this than I think we let on. I knew Kris, and I know Colin knew Kris. We didn't know him well, but enough that when someone passes like that, it kind of sets you off a little bit in a certain way. So.
And John, I've been doing this online thing. I know you've been doing it, 3 times as long as me, but I've been doing it for 3 years now, and I've always wondered, I've always talked to you, what happens if one of your friends online passes away, and I had to find out, unfortunately, today, and it's rough.
Tougher. It's tougher than you expect it to be, because you don't necessarily know these people in real life, and you don't talk to them. I maybe talked to Kris a handful of times, but still, it's someone that you knew, and I've had this happen now. This is the 3rd time I've had a friend pass away, and this one's probably the one that's hit me the most, because you're kind of a community here on iRacing, and you race with these same guys so much, even if you don't know them, just in public rooms, and when you see one of their names pop up on Facebook with an RIP next to it, it takes you back. And again, apologies if we seem a bit off or a bit hyper tonight, but we're trying to put on a happy face and go forward with this as we normally would, and it's a little more difficult than I think people kind of catch on to.
And not to mention, he left behind 3 very young children. He's only 29 years old.
Yeah, that being the hardest part.
And the fact that those 3 kids are going to grow up without a father, and that's just such an unfortunate set of circumstances for those kids and that family. And I talked to his father a little bit today, and he seemed very distraught. And it's just a sad deal, but show must go on, and we're doing this for Kris and Steve, and these guys are putting on a great show so far tonight. And Matthew Thunhorse is looking ready to take the green flag here.
We are going to go green. Thunhorse with the jump to 51. Anthony had his back end jacked up there with some wheel spin. Good job by him on the getaway. Anthony was pushing him just a little bit. He was hanging back a little bit. He's going to challenge the inside. What a run. And Ditchner loose in the back.
I told you, John, if you're going to be able to pass on the bottom, it's going to help you a ton. And he's not able to clear him. He comes up, almost gets into 6. 6 leads that lap.
Good respectful racing by the 51 there.
I think Matthew Thunhorse from last week at Texas is kind of getting sick on running on the outside of people.
Yeah.
It cost him a win last week. And
not his favorite place to be. We mentioned last week at Texas, had the win stolen from him. Literally, the guy that beat him led 2 laps. He led 137. The 2 that the guy led were the last 2 of the race. So, and one of those he led side by side with him by a nose. So not his favorite place to be, on the outside of somebody battling for the lead.
How about Aaron Vincent up to 3rd place still, John? He's doing a great job in his number 49 machine.
Caught a significant piece of the first wreck and battling back. Ditchner hard into the wall.
Wow.
And you can see even Anthony getting into the wall still gets a run. John Nolan, guy that had a good run last week.
You see him, Kevin Cook still stuck on the bottom. And he's finally going to get up to the top, the preferred line here. He's up to 6th now after pitting and falling back to 10th.
On board here with that Star Wars machine. You can see just what it looks like at Bristol. This is about as calm as it gets all night long. You see the battle for the lead up in front, and then the 3 in front, and kind of spread out a little bit with some of these guys off the lead lap. And Anthony, again, a little snap loose. Anthony's battling some demons with that car right now.
Yeah, he was doing fine at the beginning of the race, and I think once that pit stop, I don't know if he made an adjustment or did something different with his driving line, but he definitely changed something in that 87 car, and it's really thrown his car off.
And you can see right there.
I don't know what sponsor he's running today. Carolina, that's all I see.
It's back to the Jim Beam for me and a caution out on the racetrack.
He probably is on the Jim Beam, trading paints.
He's got his Steve Burns sticker on the right-hand side of that machine.
I did see that, yes.
So a nice move there again. Some guys running the commemorative paint schemes here tonight for these gentlemen. But caution on the racetrack. Going to get you a number here. Stephen Massey looks like to be a little on fire.
A little bit, yeah.
Gonna go back, get you a look. I'm not sure if he was the caution. He was. He snapped loose, couldn't correct it, and that inside wall is just so unforgiving. Head on into it. And then the smoke starts pouring when he downshifted. And Chaffin, I'm not sure.
Chaffin, okay. He didn't get it. I just saw front end damage. Wasn't really sure.
Yeah, he was the involved. Somehow got the nose of that car put back on. I was showing him without a nose on the car, but his team must have had a spare one back there. Slammed that one back on. But Stephen Massey.
You got to be ready for it.
Was a lap down. Certainly not in that bad of a spot at Bristol, so that's a tough break for the 97 Haas Automation machine. Hard, that inside wall, man. Just, it's such a crunch.
Yeah, and with that being
hurts
said,
that race car.
Cruz going to get the lucky dog, John. That's going to put 12 cars back on the lead lap.
And again, apologies. Your ticker at the top of your screen, I do want to point this out. That is not George Price's fault. Little known fact, I work too late on Tuesdays to really have time to set this all up efficiently, and George did his job just fine, sent me the files. I just got home too late to throw them on there before the broadcast. So some guys are showing the Moist Online number at the top of the screen, so apologies for that. That is my fault. I had time to throw them on. I just didn't want to mess up things and not have George here to fix them, as he's missing tonight's race with, I believe, a work commitment. So I didn't want to screw things up too bad for you guys. I figured it better just to leave it how it is. So they are showing Moist Online. Those guys are not necessarily a point of Moist Online, although I like to think it's all one big family here. But those guys are some of the newer gentlemen in the stream, or not the stream, but the race tonight, and not quite their number, but you guys get the picture.
I kind of like having Moist Online up there. It's
a nice sponsor, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
every 5th guy runs across for the Moist Online. Hey, David Grossclose, I guess, is in the Xfinity series. So.
Yeah, he's here as well. He's in the racing for Moist Motorsports, so
not too bad.
I mean, I guess if Fuller wants a ride, I guess I'll give him one. He's up there in 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hiring him, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got. I mean, entrepreneur. Come on.
There you go, making them business moves. But anyway, Matthew Thunhorse, your leader. John Knoll up to third behind Justin Fuller in second.
Yeah.
What a move
And
by
honestly,
him.
though, John, I'd rather start 4th, 6th, or 8th before I'd rather start 3rd tonight.
Third for probably the only time we'll say this all year, and you can mark my words on that, not the place you want to start. Except maybe at Darlington. Darlington's pretty bad.
We're going to say it again, I mean, in August.
Well, this track. Darlington may be a track you don't want to start on the bottom. But Bristol, one of those weird
I
tracks.
honestly don't mind starting on the bottom at Darlington. Darlington's a difficult track, but I think people focus too much on the wall, and it kind of scares them.
Darlington, I have a bad
Just
enough time
Darlington.
keeping it straight when the corners are symmetrical, but when they're different like Darlington, I hit that wall more times than I'd like to admit.
You and your cookie cutter tracks, the ones you're good at.
I love me my Texas, Vegas, Atlanta. What do I have? Third
Yeah.
in Vegas and Texas this year so far. So
And like 16 or like 9th at Atlanta or something like
yeah,
that.
it's not bad on the cookie cutters. Anything with
We're
character
getting ready to go
though.
green flag racing here. I'm getting ready to go green flag racing, John. Correct me if I'm wrong. 168 laps to go this time by.
163 at the line.
Come on.
Close enough though. We are green. Matthew Thunhorse on the jump. Anthony Titchener looking to get to the outside of Justin Fuller. So important if he wants to make that pass, and he's not. Now John Knowles looking to clear him, and he will.
Something's wrong with that 87, John.
It's not good on the short run, which Anthony Titchener has not been most of the year, but here at Bristol, that's just about all you get are short runs, and that's going to come back to hurt you.
Yeah, he's going to have to make some adjustments on that 87 car, and if he's going to want to succeed tonight, obviously anything could happen, but the way he's going, that car, unstable as it is, he's going to have to make some adjustments.
And I'm showing here from the nose camera some good right front damage on that machine. He's spinning the wall a few times. Not going to hurt you too much, but maybe enough. Certainly going to do something to the race car.
Look
Working
at
inside the
Kevin
90.
Drive it to the bottom in 45. Wow.
And make it stick.
And he did a great job.
And that puts
I always
Mark
see
Figueroa in a
Kevin-
bad spot.
And I always see Kevin as a guy who is able to is good at hard braking tracks as Matthew Thunhorse, Justin Fuller, John Nolan, everybody else into the wall.
If that's not Bristol in a nutshell. One guy hits the wall, and the next four follow him. And now we got a battle for the lead. It's Justin Fuller wants to take advantage of the mistake.
I don't think he's going to be able to, John. We saw him on the bottom, work the bottom one time, but that was on a restart, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get it on the green here.
Matthew's going to have to be careful because I think once he loses that lead, if he loses that lead to Fuller, Fuller's not going to give it back. He gave it back once through pit strategy. He's not going to give it back again. I think he's realizing now how hard it is to get back, and I think got to hold on to that for dear life at this point.
I mean, just ask Kurt Busch what it's like to pit late.
Yeah, that was questionable beyond questionable, that call.
Hey, man, I mean...
I don't like that call
I
at
would
Texas,
like
let alone
I
Bristol.
would kind of like to, race 23 laps and then still get points for finishing 26th.
What?
Denny Hamlin.
Oh. Yeah, my
trying
boy
to think.
Denny didn't have the best week. Caution on the racetrack.
Oh,
Sounds
my
like Denny.
goodness. Right in front of the leaders. Great job by everybody getting through that.
Got a number,
Wow.
boss?
I believe it was the 11.
Speak of Denny Hamlin. The 11. Dude, we jinx people by association here at Motive. We talk about their cup counterpart, and as we talk about their cup counterpart,
If you
looks
can
like some
get the
netcode, the
6th number,
83.
Wow.
Then we'll go on board here with the 6 throughout the rest of this wreck.
Anthony.
Coming off the corner, you can see blind. And there he is, parked middle of the track, and a great job splitting him. Good job on the 11 not to let it roll.
Yeah, he did a good job there. Helps out everybody.
But, wow, it's a really bad place. Similar to what happened to me last night, just parked in a bad spot. Mine was a little quicker than that, but I know from personal experience that sideways car is hard to dodge. This is not that big of a track.
Yep.
All right, so we're back live. Here, see what the leaders
He's going
do.
to get the lucky dog this time. He's going to go back to 1 lap down.
So our boy Kris Turcoy making his way back to the field here. Knowing his luck, you're only a lap down. That puts you in the top 12 at this point, so doing a good job.
I think with the damage to the 11, I think Kris is going to be 13th, 1 lap down.
And we know with the amount of cautions we get here, 1 lap down is not a death sentence, so can certainly make it up here. Lucky dogs, free passes, things like that. Be back with lead lap in no time. No pit stops from the lead this time, I don't believe. From 5, Justin Bland up to 5th. Haven't called his
John,
name. Qualifying, practice.
He's
in the
in
top five.
6th in points right now, John. Tied for 5th, actually, with Matthew George, his teammate and driver. Justin has 3 top 5s on the year, which is tied for 3rd out of everybody in the league. He's doing a great job with 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s on the year, 5th in points, 27 points out of the points league. He's doing a good job. He's very inconsistent, though. I talked about that with him the other day. Having finishes all across the board from 3rd, 2nd, 22nd, 21st, and 17th, all over the place.
He is, though, I must say, one of the more, I don't know how to say it, mild-mannered, even-tempered guys in the league. He's always in an upbeat mood. He's always a great interview, whether he finishes 2nd or 15th or wherever it may be. He's always a great guy to talk to post-race. And I think that pays off after a while. Just keeping your composure, race in, race out, racing the track, keeping your head on, and it's paying off for him here. He's up to 5th. We haven't talked about him all night long. And I mean, heck, the way this race is going, I'll have a shot at the lead here in 100 laps.
It is some great racing all the way around this track, though, I'll tell you that much. It's a lot of fun to watch. Matthew Thunhorse and Justin Fuller. Kevin Cook's up to 3rd now, John, and that's going to make for another good battle.
Yeah, Justin Fuller, Kevin Cook, I think 2 of the only guys out there that can challenge. Anthony Titchener, obviously, always a guy that can challenge, but he's pinned back still in 8th position. So up front...
I think if we're going to talk about tonight, I think those 3 cars up front right now are the cars to beat. Question is, are they going to have the track position when it comes, lap 240?
Pit strategy always so important here. You mentioned Kurt Busch on Sunday. Pitting at the right time and not pitting at the wrong time. 2 very different things, and these guys know that, and they've got to go out there. And you mentioned you can run...
I can get this one right. There's going to be 150 laps on the restart. I got that one right.
Look at Colin. Getting better.
Better and better every time.
Again, we're not math majors. I'm a comm major. I think Colin...
Public relations.
Public relations, so essentially communication. So we're not math. We don't require math courses for our degrees, and myself haven't taken a math course in close to 2 years.
Well, I took one. I just dropped it.
Yes, so anyway, going green. We know how to say that. Going green. Matthew Thunhorse holding this time on the jump, and that's going to hurt him. I think Justin Fuller maintaining a little bit closer.
John, what some of the viewers at home don't really understand is that when you get on these old tires, as these guys are on 50, 40, 45, 50 lap old tires. And with that being said, the cars don't go. The wheels spin like crazy, and it just causes these guys not to be able to go on the restart, especially in the low gear.
And the way these cars are set up with the camber they run, when they step on the gas and the back wheels get spinning, the front just wants to go right. Because you put so much torque in the back end of these cars, and it's so much throttle into these things. I mean, these things are 750 plus horsepower, even with the horsepower reduction. So still a crazy amount of power, and it's such a low gear because of the track that we run that you just put so much torque in those back wheels, the car just doesn't want to go straight. I mean, it's just like doing a burnout.
Battle for 4th, John.
I'm on board right now with Aaron Vincent watching in here. Beautiful battle between these 2 cars.
I would love to be in, Chuck Harrell's cockpit right now waiting for all this to happen.
And look at Mark Figueroa got pushed up the hill, and Aaron Vincent passed him like a parked car. So does Anthony Titchener. Something wrong with that 0-0.
I think he's tight, John, which is really screwing him up on exit.
If there's one thing,
turn the car in center.
There's one thing you do not want to be at Bristol. It's a tight race car. It's an absolute nightmare to drive around this place. You got so much wheel input with a loose race car. You get that thing tight, and it's just like the car won't turn. And I think, as you mentioned, that's kind of what he's struggling with now. Anthony's got to be careful, though. If he gets pinned down on that bottom, he's going to lose all those spots he worked so hard to get.
Kevin Cook's doing a great job, John. Look at him mirroring Justin Fuller's line.
The battle right now is for 2nd. Matthew Thunhorse has gapped probably the biggest gap we've seen in the last 50 laps, about 2/10 out in front of Justin Fuller.
Yeah.
Kevin Cook, you mentioned, wants to be the first one to him if something were to happen, and that's very important at Bristol. Something waiting around every corner. Being that 2nd place car almost as important as being in 1st.
Yeah, John, it really is. It's really important, and Kevin Cook really wants to get there. How about Justin Bland running 4th right now and stretching the field? Aaron Vincent up to 5th and stretching the field over some of these bigger names like Anthony Titchener and Mark Figueroa.
Yeah, these 3 are checked out. I'll give you an interval, 2.1 seconds as Justin Fuller gets a little loose from 3rd to 4th.
And Kevin Cook up to 2nd, though.
Yeah, and Kevin Cook going to be the first one there. Fuller made a mistake. Kevin Cook took advantage of it.
And Kevin Cook spinning.
Oh, and just like that.
Oh my gosh. That has to be a caution.
And Kevin Cook's going to get that car turned around. He might have went through pit road, so he might have a black flag on top of that.
That has to be a caution.
And no caution out, Colin. Kevin Cook rolling from 2nd position. We'll go back and take a look at it. Wow. Hard into the inside wall. You see here the lap before he took advantage. Justin Fuller got loose.
He's going to have a black flag, too.
in almost the same spot. I think you're right. I believe he rolled through.
If they're not going to call a caution, they got to give him clear
And
black
Kevin
flag.
Cook hard into the inside wall with that left side. You can see try to get it turned around and just inside that iRacing commitment or speed cone there. And I think that'll be a black flag.
They got to clear it, though.
Even if a caution were to come out, though, Colin, he would still have to serve it under green.
Yeah, but they have to clear it. I mean, it's not his fault.
That might be something that race control will clear due to the fact that in real life pit roads.
Running out of laps. He only has 4 laps, or else he's gonna get DQ'd.
Oh, that's right. You can see the chat. So no clear yet for Kevin Cook. He may not have one. He may not have put enough of the car in pit road to be registered in pit road.
Very well.
So he may be okay. He only went through the edge of the cone there. He might be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no caution. Interesting call there, no caution. We saw one earlier, too, with Stephen Massey and AJ Scarborough getting together on the bottom of the track. That didn't bring on a caution. Really letting them race tonight, which, again, we have enough cautions, I think, naturally at Bristol. No need to add to them, but
Yeah.
it's interesting calls on the cautions.
Decent laps, though, John. I mean, last time I was a 15.7, this time I was a 15.7. So
And important to note, he is currently on the lead lap. He did not lose a lap
so
from that, so.
he's about to. I mean, he's getting close.
So Luis giving an explanation there. He said he was out of the racetrack and the car was still running, meaning he still had power of it and momentum. So, assuming they dictated he could turn the car around quick enough to not cause a caution there and keep going. I don't think it's a bad call. Just an interesting one. We saw one earlier that was like that. Again, we have 6 cautions already. We're not even halfway. So probably a good call to keep it rolling here. And certainly not what Kevin Cook wanted, but still might get one and stay on the lead lap. He's about 2 seconds right now from going a lap down. Battle for the lead heating up, though. Justin Fuller all over the back of that 6 car. I think the 51's quicker. Again, you just can't get by him here.
And I think the 51's going to have an easier time getting around the 6 on the inside than the 6 would be able to get around the 51. If you know what I'm saying. 51 is able to turn the car.
The 51's better on the bottom.
Yes.
Essentially is the quick way, yeah. The 51, I think, like I said, if Matthew gives up this lead again, I don't think the 51 will give it up nearly as easy as he did before. Quick question in the chat, who's leading the race? That would be the number 6 car, Matthew Thunhorst, owned by Young Guns Racing Nick Olson. Still looking for his first win, I believe, as an owner this season. He all but had it in the bag last week. He had a 3-second or so lead with 20 laps to go. And Mark Figueroa on a caution just pretty much muscled his way inside the 6. Great side-by-side racing. Your boy Kris Coy. Now the 51's going to try it.
I think he's going to be able to get around him, John, if he can get the car to turn the center. He did right there. Not going to be able to do anything on it.
Again, any new viewers out here to the stream, we're live every Tuesday night, 9:23 Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to go ahead and hit that follow button, the Twitters are all down below, as well as the league website and iRacing if you're interested. We do appreciate your support here on MOTV. Again, tonight's event, a special one. I'll pull up that picture once again. The passing of Chris Perryman and Steve Burns today. If you'd like to make a donation to Chris Perryman's Memorial Fund, there's the number on screen. He did leave behind 3 small children, a friend of ours and a friend of ECR here, last year's truck champion here on iRacing. So, tough break there today. Obviously, we mourn the loss of them with tonight's event, and we thank you all for coming out, supporting us, supporting them, and going forward with tonight's event. A lot easier with you guys behind us. Again, obviously, Colin and I knew him. Not nearly as shook up as others, but touched by it certainly, and Steve Burns as well, a member of the NASCAR community, touching everybody with our loss of him. So, memorial event tonight, but normally a much, I guess you could say, a much less somber note here on ECR. Every Tuesday night at 9:23. This one will linger for a while with Chris's loss and going forward, but we hope to honor him tonight with hopefully what's shaping up to be a great finish. And moving forward throughout this season, we hope to continue to honor him. Again, our truck champion last season, hopefully crown a champion this year worthy of the honor, and I'm sure we will here on ECR. A lot of great talent out there in the field tonight.
There is, John, there really is, and some new guys out here, you know, Justin Fuller coming out. He's doing a great job in the second place, and he's really closing in. I think he has a faster car than the 6. Anthony Thischer closing in on these 2 guys. Anthony Thischer's car really starting to come back to him, as well as Mark Figueroa, John Knoll running out the top 5, Aaron Vincent, Chuck Carroll, Matthew George, and some run happened to Justin Bland there. He's back in 9th. Matt Moritz 10th, and Kevin Cook rounding out the lead lap cars. He's about to go lap 1 down. If he can get by the 16, it will really help him out. And
another apology. We try to keep up with everybody on track. But it's Bristol, and there's just so much that goes on here in such a short amount of time. One thing to note that we haven't been keeping too much of an eye on, or I haven't at least, Anthony Thischer's closed the gap, only 1.4 seconds back from about 3 seconds back. close
Yeah.
that gap considerably, I think he'll be there before our round of green flag pit stops, which I'm actually not sure we'll have to
I
have.
don't know if we're gonna have to, John. I'm trying to do the math in my head.
Well, we know earlier from the lap count,
Oh, come on.
might
come on.
not be the most reliable numbers.
Low blow. Low blow.
That's all we do here. We're just bad
So
people.
that's everyone who likes to come hang out with us because we make good jokes about people.
Yeah,
we're
including
bad
most of all ourselves, which we're
Yeah,
probably not doing that
well, the
right.
thing
But
is, John, we've been on here. We've hung out for what 2.5 years now.
it's
2
been a
years?
while, too long.
And we've all had our fun
And we
I
get
don't
to
know-
sit
I
here
don't
every
know.
Tuesday for 2.5 hours and
Yeah,
blab to each
exactly.
other. So
Exactly. I don't know if Heather's watching tonight, but I'm hoping she is, so she can hear how much of a mathematician I am.
oh, she knows.
Oh,
You think I just talk bad about you to your face? Come on.
wow. Okay.
No, you know I'm
Okay.
kidding. I would never
Okay.
do that. Anyway, Charles Silver back to the race, saying that they are good on fuel, so we should be good to the finish. I doubt we'll go green, but if we do, could have this battle for the lead the rest of the night. You got to wonder, I just saw him close up there, does he use the chrome horn?
Oh, I don't think he's gonna have to.
Matthew Thunhorse letting him go, maybe used it a little bit there.
Stop talking. In general. Can we
No,
have
I
a
know we
silent
do.
race? Should we
Hey,
have a silent race?
makes my job easier.
Well, Kevin Cook about to go a lap down, John. You know he's going to try to fight as hard as he can. Let's try to stay on that lead lap. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything on the bottom there.
Kevin Cook, respectfully, though, choosing the bottom line to fight his battle, not going to hold up the fast lane and cause a problem there. Matthew Thunhorse, I think, was getting worried. The 51 was really driving it in on his
Yeah.
bumper. And I think coming off a 2 weeks ago event where he was taken out late in a race and not wanting to get wrecked here, a smart move pulling over, obviously letting him go. He pulled to the bottom and pretty much stopped. So
Yeah.
6 letting him go. Interesting, though, I must say, we only have, and I say only, 114 laps. That's not that much time here at Bristol. That's comparable to maybe 30 at a mile-and-a-half track, or even like 15
Yeah.
at a Talladega, so not a lot of time left.
If this thing stays green, we're only going to be here for another half hour, 45 minutes.
At the most, yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are ticking laps by at 15.2s, 15.3s, so.
They're doing a great job, and everyone here, Anthony Fisher is on a rail right now, John. I don't know what he's done to
To
that car.
.9.
Yeah, he is a tenth and a half, 2 tenths faster than the leaders right now.
A quick update on your field. Only 9 cars left on the lead lap, and Chuck Harrell, Matthew George, and Justin Bland not far from going a lap down. Unfortunately, we see this every week, or not every week, but not every week, I promise. But every time we come to Bristol, just no cars can stay on the lead lap. We raced here twice in an old league. I think we finished with, I finished 38 laps down in 6th, I think. And that was in a 25 car field. Just no cars can stay on the lead lap. It's just that difficult here because
51 hard in the wall on the front stretch.
wow, bounced it off there pretty good. That'll give Matthew George the opportunity to get up on his bumper. Hopefully, Matthew's falling in the clutch to Anthony Titchener. Matthew, excuse me. What was I saying?
You said George. Matthew George.
Excuse me.
I'm sure Matthew George appreciates it, but
Matthew George currently in 8th, by the way, on an update on him, running just about a second from going a lap down. So not the night he wanted, but a quick call to him as I misspoke and mixed up the Matthews.
For a rundown through your field, though, John, Justin Fuller leads. He's been, I think, the fastest car all night long, and Matthew Thunhorse second. He's been up there as well. Anthony Fisher's car in the long run is really starting to come through. And last week's winner, Mark Figueroa, running 4th with newcomer John Nolan 5th.
And a quick note on that 4th. That 4th is 7.3 seconds off the lead, so it's a very distant 4th.
Half a lap.
Not a bad place to be, but certainly not where he wants to be. A very, I guess, upsetting 4th. I mean, when you're 4th and you're half a lap behind the leaders, that's a very disheartening feeling. See the battle.
It's really comfortable, though, honestly.
You kind of feel like you don't have a lot to go out
Yeah.
there and strive for, I guess. So you kind of fall into your groove and you race a little bit sooner. See Chris Coy going another lap down. That'll put him 3 laps down. Tough break for him, who's been having, again, we mentioned it last week and going into this week, he's up in the top 10 in points. So a guy that we don't talk about a lot, but has quietly made a name for himself in the point standings. And so that is a big move. Him going 3 laps down, that's a front runner in the point standings, going 3 laps
It
down.
really
Not a guy
is.
that we see battle
And
for wins.
And
But
not to mention, John, Chuck Harrell just went 1 lap down. That's going to take Kevin Cook out of the lucky dog spot.
and that's a tough break for Kevin.
And he's closing. Kevin Cook's closing, but Matthew George is about to go a lap down. So he's going to have to make some moves to make him quick.
See Matthew George there pulling over, letting the leader go by. Next to the leader's bumper is the 7th place car of
51
Justin
over the
Bland.
wall.
Justin Fuller cannot keep that thing off the wall. Corey Chaffin's going to pull over, let him go by. That'll put Chaffin. That's 21 laps down for the 33 car.
Yeah. Well, John, this time by, we're going to have 100 laps to go. Not that long, only 50 miles, and if it stays green, 25 minutes left in this race.
And look at this knot of traffic. I just saw Anthony Titchener move past Matthew Thunhorst, and I can see why. Stuck in a knot of 3 lap cars, one of them 20-plus laps down.
And the other two are racing for position.
And the other 2 racing for what could be the lucky dog spot. So they're not wanting to pull over and let him go.
Yep. And I hope Anthony and Matthew understand that. They're racing for a lucky dog. Everyone's racing around here. There's just no room. We saw Jeb Burton cause some trouble in the NASCAR Cup Series race last Sunday. And so it's such a small track that you have really nowhere to give room.
And Matthew George making Anthony go to the bottom, not conceding the high lane, and he cuts off the 6. And the 6, a great job of checking up. Wow. That was almost bad for Matthew Thunhorst. And Anthony Titchener looks like a little loose there, just almost. Wow, what a stressful work through traffic for these lead lap cars. And that's letting Justin Fuller 2-second lead now over these gentlemen back there in 2nd. Now Anthony's going to move past him.
Left on the lead lap, John, and Justin Bland moves past Aaron Vincent. That's for 6th.
And again, folks,
Justin Fuller only 2 seconds behind him.
For any of the new folks out there, this is not the week-to-week action. The racing is very good, but in terms of lead lap cars, we finished last week's event, I believe, with only 5 or 6 cars a lap down out of a 20-plus car field. So a very, very competitive field. It's just the standard of racing here at Bristol is just so difficult because it's such a short track, and again, the speeds they run, it's so hard. And again, a lot of the racing happens a lap down here. So yeah, Aaron Vincent, the next car to go a lap down. Justin Bland moved past him. So Aaron Vincent going to be the next victim of Justin Fuller's lead there. Going to put, again, only 6 cars on the lead lap after he works past that 49 car.
I'm watching Justin Bland's lap times, John, and he's holding. He might even be faster than Justin Fuller right now, which you see sometimes. You guys get these guys that are about to go a lap down, and all of a sudden they put it into.
They find that little extra gear there.
They find that 5th gear, 4.5 gear right there, and they just shift into it and start going on a rail and try to separate some room to stay on the lead lap.
Throw it up there in R for race, and away they go. So looks like Justin Bland. The next car Justin Bland comes to is a 90 of John Knoll. He's 3.6 seconds off his bumper. That would put one more cushion between him and going a lap down. I don't think Aaron Vincent will fight too hard. He's pretty damaged.
And there's a lot of room between him and
Could be wrong.
He's going to make him go to the
Aaron
line.
Vincent's going to hold that high line. Going to make it difficult.
And another lap car coming up here.
And look at Fuller wiggle. Oh, and they both put it in the wall. Now he has to concede to not get dangerous there.
That was a hard hit to the wall for the 51.
For the question in chat there to Matthew, I believe Pocono is June 9th for us here. June 7th in the real world, June 9th. We'll be here Tuesday night, 9:23 Eastern on June 9th. It's a little bit in the future, but again, every Tuesday night, 9:23 Eastern right here. The home of MOTV and ECR. Bring you all 36 weeks of this series here. This is week 8, race 8, week 9 technically of this series. 26 races in the regular season, 10 races in the chase. So still got a long way to go. He did work past Aaron Vincent there, putting him a lap down. Next car to him is Justin Bland.
Yeah, I think Justin Bland used up all the stuff, John. He's really starting to lose some ground to the 51, the leader.
I think Justin will fight. I honestly do. I think he has to.
Yeah.
And as I say that, he's scraping the wall, dragging the wall, actually. And here comes the 51. Interesting note here. After he puts the 65 car down, a lap down, if you're on the lead lap, you're in the top 5.
Yeah. Good deal, I guess. A
So,
lot of cars in the field. Everyone has to understand that if you wreck and you go a lap down, it's not going to be long until you go a lap down again.
And once you're 2 laps down in any NASCAR event,
51 gets loose and puts himself in the wall again.
51 has beaten banged that car so much tonight, and is still in a 2-second lead. That's how fast it is. I've seen him hit the wall at least 25 times. That's not an exaggeration. At least 25 times tonight, and still have that car out in front. He's just not hitting it hard, and he's managing it very well, and might have our first Toyota in victory lane this season.
Oh, please don't say that.
I drive a Toyota Camry in real life.
I know.
I like my Toyota. I'm a Joe Gibbs Racing fan. I'd
I
love
like
to see a
Chevy.
Toyota up there in victory lane.
I like Chevy.
You make me drive Chevys.
Sorry.
It's alright, boss.
They don't have Toyota.
Yes, they do. They do in
Not
Cup.
the Xfinity.
You made me buy a Chevy. Anyway, moving forward, working past Kris Circoy, put him 4 laps down.
Justin Bland trying to hold on. He's running almost identical laps to Justin Fuller right now. Justin and Justin.
The new Justin and the veteran Justin. Justin Bland been here for a while. Justin Fuller making his first Cup start, first ECR start, and having one whale of a time, looking to become our first rookie winner. Not rookie winner, but our first Cup debut winner of the
There you
season
go.
here.
I
got it.
Guys close. Matthew Thunhorst and Jeremy
Matthew
Rubin was on the
Thunhorst
pole
ran
last
second.
week, and-
Jeremy Rubin on the pole, had a
Yeah.
wreck early on. So certainly doable. 51 looking to be the first to do, but still a long way to go. 79 laps to go, 78 at the line, and a caution.
Caution's out.
What's that change, Colin?
Everything. And Aaron Vincent's going to go back on the lead lap.
It's like
You
the
know who's
16
happiest
car.
to see that?
I'm going to guess Justin Bland.
Justin Bland is ecstatic to see that. I guarantee it. And the 16
16
has to
car
have-
caught up again in something. I don't know if he caused it. He's been an innocent victim of 2. Let's see if he's a victim of another one or if this one was
Nah,
actually
he caused that one. He
a
caused
mistake
that one.
on his part. Looks like, yep, just getting loose.
And here come the leaders, John.
Pretty PG caution, though. He didn't hit anything. Now, see, that's interesting to me. Was that an iRacing caution?
Yeah, that was not.
Okay, I was going to say, because that's interesting to me, that was a caution and Kevin Cook's wasn't.
Yeah.
But iRacing
John-
throwing that one.
If you're Aaron Vincent can get the luck. If you're Matthew George or Kevin Cook, do you stay out and get the waiver on?
No.
You
I
don't.
think you
don't.
bunch the field back up here. I think we're going to have another caution within 10 laps. I think you
wouldn't
pit.
want to get the waiver on, get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
you can
completely
put that
wrong. I would definitely take the waiver on here. I was thinking lucky dog. I don't know what I was thinking, boss.
Aaron Vincent got the lucky dog, 49 car. He's doing a hell of a
Okay.
job.
So yeah, if you're a
His
lap
helmet's
down
done.
here, even 2 laps down, stay out for sure. Hope for that. Because I think you're good on fuel anyway. So worst case scenario, you just lose the lap
Yeah,
again.
everyone's-
So
I think everyone's good on fuel from here, obviously.
I think, does Mark Figueroa stay out there? Or is my timing just off? No, he's coming.
I
He's
think-
on the
I think
backstretch pit.
Yeah, no, I think some people just, the way iRacing works is that sometimes pit road open doesn't show it for people at Bristol just because the pit road sequence here is so messed up.
It's very odd with the
Figueroa
split.
does lead that lap. He does lead that lap.
Yeah, Mark Figueroa going to get the bonus point there, lap led. Justin Fuller going to maintain your lead, and look who's right on his bumper now. The one that we call aggressive every week, and now he's at a track where aggressive is the name of the game. Anthony Titchener in second place for this restart.
He's just not good on the short run. He is fast on the long run. We saw that in the last run. We just had a 70-lap green flag run, and we saw how good his car was on the long run, but on the short run, it just doesn't seem stable enough for him.
It's a tough break if you're in Anthony's spot right now because you mentioned the short run car not good, and that's when you're going to have to make it move. Matthew Thunhorst fast on the short runs. Behind him, John Knoll fast on the short runs. So he's going to have to make it a short run car. We've only got just over 70 laps to go. Winding down here, not a lot of time left. So he's going to have to make it work and make it work now. This might be his last shot at the lead.
From looking at it, John, I don't see anybody taking the wave around. I think Kevin Cook did take the wave around. Kevin Cook did, I believe.
It's a good
Unless he
move.
pitted. I don't know. I
Still
can't
showing
tell.
Kevin Cook a lap down here.
No, Kevin Cook did pit there.
Okay, so we're going to have Aaron Vincent, the only one that got back on the lead lap there via the lucky dog.
From
He's
the
going to be
lucky
in
dog, yeah.
7th. So 7 cars, folks, on the lead lap
Say
again.
Via.
I did say Via. You know what it is?
It's a
The
Via.
the Indians announcer, Matt Underwood, says Via, and I was watching the Indians game before I hopped on here, and so it is Via. I make fun of him all the time for it. Just stuck in my head.
Via.
Yeah, he says it like that all the time. Oh, car's taking the waiver on now.
I don't think there's that many, though.
I think AJ Scarborough I saw was one. Don't think anybody one lap down took it there.
I think Chuck Harrell, Jeremy Rubin. Chuck Harrell's going to go back to one lap down.
Okay.
Wayne Willard and AJ Scarborough, I believe, are the only other ones.
Okay, so we're still going to have 7 cars on your lead lap here.
And the battle we're going to have to look at, John, is Kevin Cook in the 45 and Matthew George in the 50. That's for the lucky dog spot.
So that's an important battle on track. Kevin Cook, if he wants to have a shot, has to hope for a caution quick.
Yep.
Pace cars off. Justin
Here we
Fuller,
go.
your leader, and we're gone. And look at the jump Anthony got. But John Knoll gets a better one.
Yeah, I think Anthony's going to work good. On the restarts, the inside seems to prevail just a little bit.
Look
to
at the
inform
run he
you.
gets off.
If Anthony, I think, can hang with the 50.
And that's going to make it easy, the 51 in the wall. This is the crucial moment of the race for the 51. He's been alone for so long. Now he has to race, and Anthony's there.
He is, John. I don't know if he's going to be able to get... he's going to have to use the chrome horn.
Yeah, Anthony now a dirty racer, but not afraid to use the bumper.
You have to here. I mean, you can't pass on the inside. You literally have to use the bumper.
And not with Anthony's car. No, you have to either use the door or the bumper, and the bumper's probably the cleaner of the two options.
Unless you're Ryan Newman.
Well, that was a different... that wasn't a clean move by any means.
No, that was a good move.
If that was Jeff Gordon and was not Kyle Larson, that would have been a fight for the ages. But Kyle Larson's a rookie, and he can't really say anything to a guy getting his way into the chase. But 51 off the wall again.
Anthony's going to look underneath him.
That's a really dangerous spot to be if you're Anthony. That middle, the top of the mid lane right there is a really dangerous spot. That car hits that wall, bounces, moves it all, and he's coming right across your nose.
And there goes two of the three best cars on that.
Yep, and look at John Knoll having to fight off.
Matthew George, he's still in the
Yeah,
wall.
Matthew George is there. You know, that 51's looking awfully odd to me.
Matthew Thunhorst, sir.
Matthew Thunhorst,
What's wrong with
apologies.
51?
The way he's hitting the wall in the middle of the corner, Colin, it's skeezing me out a little bit. I don't want to call wall riding, I don't want to call cheating, but it's a really odd line, and he's been doing it now every lap for a very long time.
I think it's just a matter of getting in a little too hot. And I know everyone went over in the driver's meeting that you're not supposed to wall ride, and if you do use it...
And he hasn't been black flagged for it. And the
No.
owner of the league's right behind him, so if he's going to get black flagged, this would be the time.
Yeah. I don't think it's considered wall riding. I think he's not trying to do it, and sometimes it does hurt him. So I don't think he's just doing it for an advantage. I think it's just...
And he's driving a Toyota,
nature
so
of
he's
the
at a
beast.
natural disadvantage to begin with. So
I know. He's got like 200 less horsepower.
anyway, Justin Foley, your leader. Anthony Titchener, second. Matthew Thunhorst, 8/10 back in third. Mark Figueroa, fourth. John Knoll, fifth. Justin Bland, sixth. And Aaron Vincent, the last car on the lead lap, in seventh. Is about 7 seconds back, struggling. Probably going to end up going a lap down here before too long again. That car just not all in one piece, shall we say. But look who's gaining, Colin. Matthew Thunhorst. Almost said Matthew George again.
Yay,
Matthew Thunhorst is there.
He is. He's closing in. Mark Figueroa in fourth. John Knoll fifth. Justin Bland sixth. Aaron Vincent seventh. And right now, Kevin Cook currently holding the lucky dog spot over Matthew George in the 50. Anthony Titchener hard into the outside wall.
And look at Matthew George going to dive in and under him.
Matthew Thunhorst.
Matthew Thunhorst.
Come on.
Why do I have Matthew George on my mind?
I don't know.
Did we enter? No, we didn't interview him pre-race.
Maybe
don't
he's
know.
just crazy.
Early apologies, and Anthony's going to
Anthony
concede it there. Something wrong with that 87, just not handling.
I told you, he's just doesn't. The car does not handle well on the
Not on the short run at all.
Do you see those guys putting David Gross close another lap down? That's going to be 6 laps down.
Anyway, early apologies to Matthew Thunhorst in the 6 machine.
He is up to second though, John, and he's doing a good job trying to close in on Justin
I
Fuller.
think he can. I think he's the
about
fastest car on the
half a
track.
lap right now.
I think once he hits lap traffic too, I think Matthew's going to be there.
Yeah, the question is just did Matthew adjust his car that he's going to be able to work on the bottom at all?
Well, he's going to have to, or he's going to have to move somebody because he hasn't been able to all night
He
long.
gains another 10th right there.
Corey Chafin, you see going multiple laps down. He's currently showing 22 laps down.
I don't think any of these drivers are afraid to use the bumper as he loses about a half 10th there.
Can't be now. You see Christopher Coy going on the lap down, coming up on Will Prue now. You cannot be afraid at this point. I mean, we only got 57 laps to go next time by.
Yeah. Hey! Oh, you're cheating. That's not fair.
Yeah, I've got the little numbers up there. See, that's the advantage I get of working the cameras.
Yeah. Thunhorst, he's not getting around lap traffic. It's like he's afraid to cut across their nose like the 51 is. 51's really using it to his advantage.
The 87's going to be there, too. The 87 not afraid to do much of anything. And if he gets to him, I think Matthew going to have a hard time. Interesting call now in the chat. Charles Silver calling out Justin Fuller in a way. He says if Justin keeps tagging the wall, he'll pull away. He makes a good point. You do go a little bit faster. 51 maybe paying the price now.
He came right off turn 2 and just killed the outside.
And now he's showing some good right front damage on that 51 machine. He's been rubbing it all night long. He's been its best friend.
Matthew Thunhorst gains by 3.
reached
3/10
out
on
and
that lap.
slapped him there.
Wow, major damage. He's in the
And
wall.
there he is again into the wall. And that's going to crinkle up the right front even more.
Wow.
Colin, he's got to keep that thing off the wall.
He has to. It's the only way
He's
he
beat
has
it up
so
to the
much
point
room.
now where he's going to start hurting the suspension.
Just ask Kyle Larson from Eldora.
Yeah, and you can only put it in the wall so many times where the car just doesn't work anymore. And like I said, we're got to be going over 40, 50 times he's touched the wall tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And again, not sure he's doing it on purpose. It's just the nature of Bristol and the way his car's set up. Don't want to, say yay or nay on that, but just bending the wall so much. The right side of the car, you said he hit it hard. You were right. Damage to that right front. And Matthew Thunhorse closing. I think he hurt the suspension, Colin.
I think he had to have. The way he hit that, the angle he hit that.
Because he is losing now almost a tenth a lap to Matthew Thunhorst. And that's a lot at Bristol.
It really is. Especially, I just don't know if he's going to be able to get by. And even with suspension damage, I don't know if the 6 is going to be able to get by the 51.
Well, the 6, if he gets to him, is going to have to. Because if he doesn't, Anthony's going to try to pass both of them. We just come inside 50 laps to go.
We saw Anthony pass 2 cars at once at Vegas.
Yes, we did. He split the middle 3 wide.
Then again, this is not Vegas.
No, but even maybe more apt the track to do that at here at Bristol. We saw...
I'd like to see it. I think it'd be fun to watch.
We see passes Clint Boyer. We go back to Martinsville where he dive bombed and wrecked the field. He makes that move work. That's one of the best moves in NASCAR history. If Anthony Thitcher can pull off something like that, we mentioned you said Vegas, one of the greatest moves I've ever seen on iRacing and racing in general. If he can pull off anything close to that here, he'll have a good chance at it. But now you see the 51 closing on 2 lap cars.
Yep.
Could make things very interesting.
Matthew Thunhorst lost about a half a tenth that lap.
And just as he gets to him, Wayne Willard pulls out side by side with Jeremy Rubin. And the 51's going to have to at least check up a little bit.
He is. He's going to get by him right there. Matthew Thunhorst gets loose hard on the outside wall spinning. What a save!
What a save by Matthew Thunhorst. We're going to go back and take a look at that, folks.
Matthew Thunhorst and Anthony Thitcher. Jeremy Rubin pulls off Anthony Thitcher, cleared a second. Matthew Thunhorst back to third.
He's sideways, middle of the corner, and doesn't touch anything.
That reminds me of Brad Keselowski last year at Richmond, John.
Going to go on board with Anthony Thitcher and watch this save. What a skilled piece of driving for Matthew Thunhorst. Look at that car, all been out of shape. And good move by Anthony, checking up, getting past them both.
Oh, yeah.
But now that Justin Fuller could not be more happy with that. He's pulled out to a 2-second advantage. Only 43 laps to go this time by.
Very short amount of time left here at Bristol, John. Justin Fuller is able to take it easy for the time being. 2-second lead over Anthony Thitcher in the 87. 2.5 over Matthew Thunhorst in the 6. Mark Figueroa 4 seconds back in 4th. And we got a battle going on for 5th. John Knoll and Justin Bland.
Good battle still going on. You mentioned Aaron Vincent last car on the lead lap. He's just about to go a lap down. Other than that, Justin Bland, John Knoll, you mentioned going at it. Battle for 2nd still on between Anthony Thitcher and Matthew Thunhorst. Yeah, Matthew he regained his composure quickly from that little scare right there. And that was a scare. That was his night if he loses that ride right there. So a great save by him. Move of the race if he holds on to the podium.
Oh, yeah.
And we might not be done with Collins yet. Might not be done with Collins. Might not be done with cautions yet, Colin.
No, if you ask Matthew Thunhorst, they are called Collins.
That's true.
Yeah,
You do call as a good majority.
You do.
If you ask anybody, I think in the truck series, they're called Collins as well.
Oh, wow.
Again, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Hey, if you ask anybody what a P7 is, they'll call it a John, so don't feel too bad.
It's funny because your name is a reference to a toilet.
Alright, now you're taking low blows. And at my name, nonetheless.
I got it. It's not my fault. My last name's a plant.
That's true.
Yeah, it is a plant.
That's true. This is what Bristol does to us, folks. It's that type of track.
Points leader Ron Burns goes another lap down. He is now 15th, 22 laps down.
51 continues picking him up and putting him down. Just went by Aaron Vincent, put him back a lap down. 6 cars left on your lead lap. Now the next one he's 2. Still half a lap up on him. That's 65 of Justin Bland as this becomes
Justin
the battle.
Fuller gets his tail whips down to the bottom.
Justin Fuller, if he saves this car throughout the night and comes away with the win, needs to get a sponsorship by some kind of glue company because he saved that car and made it stick about 15 separate times tonight.
Well, John, you see the ADASignWraps.com machine. He has a sponsor. He's proven him to do well right now. He's doing a great job in the lead. Working through lap traffic very well.
Very skillful piece of driving. He's not, maybe even had the best car out there tonight. He's tagged the wall. He's tagged. There he gets loose again. He's tagged about every part of the wall. He's got rubbed black paint all over that race car, but a great save there and a great save all night long from that 51 machine.
And he's really stretching the lead now over Anthony Fisher and Matthew Dunhorse. Almost 3 seconds, about to be 3 seconds. And obviously the last thing Justin wants to see is a yellow flag.
Could we see a repeat of last week at Texas where Matthew Dunhorse dominated the second half of the event, led 137 laps. Caution comes out late. Mark Figueroa muscles inside, and there's the caution.
There it is.
I'll shut up. I'm done. I'm going home.
We gotta stop talking.
I apologize to Justin Fuller in advance.
John Nolan, the 90, John. I don't know if he had contact. Could he have had help from the 65? And he did.
It's like him in the 65 racing hard.
I think that's 2 cautions by the 65. John,
you know, Colin,
he will be DQ'd.
Taking a peek at that, I don't know if that's the 65's fault, to be honest with you.
I have to go back and look at it.
Looks to me like they're battling side by side off the corner, and the 90 maybe cuts the exit a little bit more than he should.
I agree with it. I definitely agree with that.
65, I think, is holding the second lane, and the 90 just kind of comes down.
Yep. Here we go.
Good, respectful driving by the 90 there, not to take anybody out.
6
So.
and the 87, the 51. 6 stays out. Matthew Dunhorse.
Matthew Dunhorse, heavy front end damage on the 6 machine.
Nah, who cares? It's Bristol.
It's Bristol, but no front end on that machine. Stays out. Why not?
He's got track position. I wouldn't pit.
30, gonna have under 30 laps to go.
If I'm Mark Figueroa and Justin Bland, John, I don't pit. Hell no.
Ooh, this.
Aaron Vincent gets a lucky dog. He's gonna be able to pit though.
This puts Justin and Anthony in a one bad spot. Under 30 laps to go. Not at all a lot of time at Bristol. That goes by in the drop of a hat.
I just want to point out, look who's first and second right now.
Oh, the 2 gentlemen that battled it out in the closing laps last week at Texas. And look at them again. There's an old rule in NASCAR. Whoever you have a problem with the week before is who you're going to run with next week. And
yeah.
Not that they had a problem, but they certainly had a battle, and here they are again.
And John, I think if I'm anybody who I'm happy right now, I'm Anthony Fisher. You're going to restart on the outside of the second row, and you get to be right behind the leader. You can be able to get a great jump. You're on fresh tires. If I want to be anybody, I want to be Anthony Fisher.
Is Anthony in front of Justin?
No, but he will start on the outside for 4th place.
I'm showing him in 5th.
65 did not pit.
65 stayed out.
Justin Bland did not pit. Now I want to be Justin Fuller. Obviously.
Yeah, now Justin Fuller becomes the catbird here because Anthony Fisher's going to be on the bottom. Granted, he's really got no pressure from behind him, but now he's going to have to work. So you see the 11 machine up there. He's multiple laps down. Oh, so is the 01. So right now your top 5 sets as follows. Matthew Dunhorse. No front end on that car showing for me in 1st. Mark Figueroa in 2nd. Justin Bland, after being in the last caution, stays out. He's going to be 3rd. Justin Fuller going to be 4th. And Anthony Titchener, your top 5.
And, yeah, I mean, Matthew Dunhorse obviously in the best scenario. The thing these 3 up here have to watch out for, the 6, the 00, and the 65, is tire spin. Those guys have on the same tires for the past 50 laps. They got to watch out for tire spin.
The 6, I think, can manage it because he's in the lead. The 2 behind him are going to be so anxious on the restart, especially Justin Bland because he's the last car on old tires. They're going to try to go so fast and so hard that, as you mentioned, wheel spin a big factor here. And I'd be interested to see. We mentioned the 51 in a great spot. Not if that 65 gets wheel spin and comes up and doors him. That's not going to be the good spot to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel bad for Kevin Cook and Matthew George, too. Unfortunately, Aaron Vincent went one more lap down there, and he was able to come back and get the lucky dog again. So Aaron Vincent in 7th place.
No surprise here. Matthew Dunhorse chooses the outside lane. And, folks, we are going to have one heck of a finish here tonight in the Food City 250 presented by Kris Perryman and Steve Burns in memory of, of those 2 gentlemen. Again, the passing of those taking a big part in tonight's event. And we're glad that we're able to come out here and put on a show and honor them the way we are. We're shaping up for one heck of a finish, and I hope we can give it to them. But your top 5 again, Dunhorse, Figueroa, Fuller, Bland, and Titchener. We're getting ready to go green, and on the jump, the 6 car and a delayed green. The pace car's back out.
Wow.
Wow, this is not. Are they going to get the field set okay here? I believe we had a spin, Colin, towards the back of the field. I believe we had an issue with a car going around. I don't know if it was contact. I believe it was a black-colored machine, if you could maybe piece together what happened there.
don't know if they spun around or not.
So you see the field coming to a stop. Here's Brett Bodine, and the pace car's got to go past him.
Was the 90 had an EOL for causing the yellow flag and did not get in position.
So the 90 out of position there to not take his EOL or did not get one.
That's going to help Matthew Thunhorst out more and more.
Yeah, the laps wind down now. We're going to run more laps under caution, at least 2 more, to get this field set. So interesting call. It gave me a heart attack when Anthony Titcher didn't go at all in the restart, and then I heard the spotter voice called it late green. So shaping up to be yet even a more exciting finish. My goodness,
How about
Colin.
Mark Figueroa? We haven't talked about him that much all night long.
No, we talked to him pre-race. Coming off his big win last week, again battling the 6, almost how they're lining up right now, inside-outside. Took that one away from him. We mentioned he just wanted a good finish and a solid run. He's already in the chase, so just looking to rack up some points. And look at him here, again, battling the same guy for the win. Nick Olson having those heart palpitations we talked about. His car again going to have to go out there and earn it. This time maybe we'll go green, and Thunhorst again not wasting any time. And look at Fuller. Wheel spinning all, and he's going to go to the inside.
Look at that.
Thinks better of it, maybe. Backs out. Fuller all over the 6 car. Remember, he has fresh tires. The 6 does not.
He's going to be able to get by him, John. If the 6 is going to pinch, he's going to go into contact. No, Mark Figueroa spinning down the front stretch. 51's on the bottom. He's going to clear him. No, he's not.
What a save by Figueroa to gather the machine up. And look who's right behind this battle. Anthony Titcher always lurking in that black and red Jim Beam.
Slide job him if he's going to stick.
And the 51 does it. And right now, if you're Matthew Thunhorst, you have to show discipline and not try to get it back, and he does. Good move there.
And Anthony Titcher going to easily work by the 6, it looks like.
We are shaping up for a battle of 51 and the 87.
I don't know if the 87 is going to be able to stick with him, though,
He
John.
does not have the short run car. But here we go. We go off. 20 laps to go this time by as they roll down into turn number 3. And the 51 in the wall again, Colin.
Yeah, he's hit the wall a lot, John.
Yeah, uncountable times now. We're over 70. We've got to be. He's banged that wall. That right side of that car is non-existent. Crush panels, everything gone from the right side of that machine.
And yet it's still moving. And it's still moving in the
And it's still rolling in first place. That's Bristol for you. Here we go, Anthony Titchener.
Race control is now allowing the 51 team, or telling the 51 team that you have to stay off the wall.
So now the wall riding controversy mixing up a little bit here. We mentioned it earlier, wall riding, when you use the wall, is kind of like a brake. You don't really have to brake. Titchener snaps loose a little bit. It's been on and off all night long.
Now the 87 into the wall.
And that was definitely not intentional. And a caution.
Caution flag.
Not showing any cars slow on the racetrack. I don't see it. I'm watching my speeds here throughout that caution, and get my eyes here. Colin, go back, take a peek. Not sure what happened there. Maybe a quick spin and a get-go, and iRacing through it. But that, hey, makes a more exciting finish.
Where's the caution? I'm lost.
Was it an iRacing caution?
No.
Oh, it was a manual caution.
I see a caution now. I see it. I believe that is AJ Scarborough.
The 5 machine.
No, the 11, John. Caleb Sheets is the one who wrecked.
All right, folks, we'll go back.
I found it. I found it.
Trying to get you a peek here at just what happened to the 11. I'm not showing him on track, Colin, at any point. Describe for our viewers at home.
He was blinking. He was blinking. He got loose off turn 4, killed the inside wall, blew his motor for the 2nd time tonight, and then retired from the race.
So Caleb Sheets, I guess you could say another one bites the dust there. Our, what is that, our 5th, 6th, 7th retiree of the night?
Something like that, John. And Kevin Cook did not get the lucky dog. Matthew George did.
Kevin Cook, not what he wanted to see there, all but takes him out of competition for this win tonight. Only, Colin, 14 laps to go this time by. Going to get about 10 on the restart.
And remember, for our viewers at home, we do not do green, white checkers here. Excuse me, we do not do one-lap shootouts here, and there are no overtime laps, I guess you could say. So if the caution, I think we're going to be able to chance for one more caution, and it wouldn't surprise me if we got it.
No, this is going to be one heck of a restart. Anthony Thitcher, Justin Fuller have been duking out all night long. They're going to start side by side. Again, we remind you tonight's event in memory of Kris Perryman and Steve Burns. Again, the page one more time here tonight if you guys have any spare change to donate. He leaves behind 3 young children, and we do thank you for coming out and supporting tonight. He was a friend of ECR, obviously Steve Burns, a friend of NASCAR in general, and a tough passenger to these two gentlemen. Tonight's event in memory of these two respected gentlemen. Again, Kris Perryman, a friend of the league, and Steve Burns, known nationally and now globally through his fight with cancer. So we thank you all for coming out tonight and hanging out with us and remembering these two gentlemen and putting on one heck of a show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, John. They really are, and it's going to be shaping up to be a great finish tonight. Justin Fuller trying to get his first victory. Anthony Thitcher looking for his 4th victory. Matthew Thunhorst and everybody else behind him looking for their first victory. Except for Mark Figueroa in 6th. It's going to be a great finish. We got 8 cars on the lead lap here. I believe we're going to have a 12-lap shootout. And I believe Justin Fuller is choosing the inside line.
Interesting call from Justin Fuller. The first time we've seen that all night long. The David and Goliath story up front, you mentioned Anthony Thitcher, 3 wins, locked into the chase forever at this point.
Interrupt you, but why is he starting on the inside?
Colin, I couldn't tell you. Maybe he likes his chances of pulling up in front of Anthony. Couldn't tell you why you'd give maybe the 6 he wants down on the inside behind him. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Certainly an interesting strategy
Either
call.
way, here we go.
And he's going to hold the field, and now he's gone. He's got to get up, and he has to wait till after the start-finish line, and he does.
He did. Anthony Thitcher's there, John. He can get a run off turn 2. He's not going to get a run. Justin Fuller pulling away.
Justin Bland hard into the wall in the back of the pack. We're going to keep it here, your battle for the lead, though. Might not be a battle for long. Justin Fuller pulling away.
Up to 3rd.
Got to go back in the pack, though, really quick. Mark Figueroa and Matthew Thunhorst doing battle. What a pinch by Thunhorst. These two, remember, duked it out. Duked it out last week hard in the closing laps. Stole it from Thunhorst at Figueroa. I'm sure Thunhorst did not forget that. Not giving him an inch tonight.
Anthony closes the gap in the center. Hits the wall a little bit on exit.
51 up into it just a little bit there.
Here they come. That was 9 to go that time.
Winding down here, 51-87 at the front. The battle is for 3rd at the moment. That has dissipated. The 90 falling back. See, Matthew Thunhorst all the way back to 7th, Colin.
Yeah, he's really struggling with that front end damage. And Anthony Thitcher closes the gap.
He's there, Colin. He's going to have to use the nose.
He's going to have to.
He's got a clean nose in the car, and he can't finish with it.
If he wrecks somebody, EOL goes to him. So he can't wreck him, he just has to move him.
Just has to move him.
A lot harder said than done.
And again, the door, always an option, that right side door. You can always slide under and put him in the wall, but that's the dirtier of the two moves. Not an Anthony Thitcher move, but it is a win.
That was 6 to go that time by. Anthony Thitcher
gets loose, he doesn't lift.
Wow.
I don't know, Colin, he's still there. I think
to go that time by.
I don't think he has a problem getting there. I think he has a problem passing him.
I think he does too, John. I think he has a fast car. He's in the wall.
Figueroa to note up to 3rd. Snuck his way through that mess.
Justin Bland in 4th, looking for his 4th top 5. It's 4 to go, and the race is official. Next
Looks like 0.7 back to Anthony Thitcher. Barring a mistake by the 51 column, this race might be official. It's going to take a miracle here. Anthony going to have to do some serious gap closing. The battle on track right now looks to be for that 4th position. Justin Bland and the 90 of John Knoll duking it out.
Great battle all over the place, John. Anthony Thitcher still closing the gap, but it's not going to be enough time.
No, 51's going to have to make a mistake now, which he has not been prone to do all night long. 2 laps to go that time by. Anthony did close to 0.6, but as you mentioned, just not enough time, and he drove that thing in like a missile.
Yeah.
Justin Bland, Mark Figueroa had problems. Mark Figueroa not showing on the racetrack. Justin Bland to 3rd.
He blinked out. And
Anthony Thitcher gone.
Here, what is going on in this race? Is Justin
Connection
Fuller,
issues. Is Justin Fuller's going to come around turn number 2.
He's going to take the checker flag. Justin Fuller's going to win on a night full of somber notes. Justin Fuller makes his debut and wins, and Justin Bland finishes 2nd tonight.
Not sure what happened to Anthony and Mark Figueroa, both showing Mark Figueroa showing a lap down now
Wow,
from third
what
position.
in the
Anthony
world?
Thitchner showing
Finishes
in
ninth.
ninth, not on the racetrack.
Oh my gosh.
And that'll do it, folks. Your winner tonight in his Cup
Justin
debut, the
Fuller.
51 car. What a drive.
In a night full of sorrow and unfortunate, deaths for those families and tonight. And we had such a good race to the end and such a fun night overall. Justin Fuller goes to victory lane. And
Yeah,
just
Justin
out of
Fuller
curiosity, John, how many yellow flags did we have?
finished with 9. So
9
that 500,000 is going to go to
Mark
Kevin Cook.
Figueroa. Mark Figueroa, I see.
Is it showing Kevin Cook on mine? We'll have to sort that
I'm
out
so
post-race.
lost. I am so lost.
Connection issues galore as we final this night off. What a note for Justin Fuller, though.
Goes to
Again,
victory
what a
lane.
race. Again, a night, as Colin
That's
mentioned,
such a
full of
fun
somber notes and a night that was dedicated to 2 men that had recently passed away. And Justin Fuller comes out, puts on a show for us tonight. He beat that car up in every corner, drove it away, dropped back all the way to 5th, 6th at one point, drove it back up to the front. What a race to put on tonight. Couldn't have gone any better. Again, the ending, an interesting turn of events there. He's going to blow it up,
Yeah.
finish
I don't know
that
what
race car
happened.
off. But
That was
Justin
so
Bland,
weird.
John Knoll, going to be your 2-3 interviews tonight.
John, let's see if we can get a word here with John Knoll before he heads out. Hey, John Knoll, you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, man, you started the lap in 5th place and you finished in 3rd place and you didn't pass one car. You finished 3rd, your first career top 3 podium finish here in the ECR Cup Series. Good run tonight, man. And how'd you turn your night around after being a top, 10th to 15th place car? How'd you turn it around to a 3rd place finish?
Basically, I just listened to my car owner the whole time, Mark. He sat there and he kept me calm, telling me how to just not overdrive the car, just ride, don't even worry about anybody else, and just focus on hitting your marks. This way you'd be there at the end, because previous races I've made mistakes and I wasn't there at the end. I was a lap down, so I just wanted to get a good finish tonight.
Absolutely, and you did that, just that, and you finished 3rd. To a great start in the ECR Cup Series, man. What do you do that you have to keep your momentum? I mean, you didn't get the finish you wanted last week, but you had a good run, and so how do you plan to keep that momentum going into next week at Richmond?
Just basically just keeping calm, man. I mean, it's not the fact of going out there and trying to win it on the last lap. Main thing is keeping the car there for the last 10 laps. I mean, yeah, tonight I bounced off the wall a few times. I mean, it's just going to happen. But it's just a matter of keeping the car there at the end of the long runs. And tonight was a great setup for this car. So I'm looking forward to the next short track next week.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for coming out. Thank you for putting on a great show for tonight in the memorial service that we're doing. You did a great job. Congratulations on your first top 5 in ECR.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
That was your 3rd place finisher tonight, that number 90 car, John Knoll. A good run by him. You mentioned last week, got the run, didn't get the finish. But going on to our 2nd place finisher tonight, Justin. Now you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, bud, I got you.
So those last laps, quite hectic. What happened there? We saw some cars disappear, and you wind up 2nd.
I first got to give a shout out to Matthew. I came into the room 10 minutes before the race, had nothing, and he gave me a pretty solid setup, got a 2nd place. Great to throw our name out there and stuff. I honestly couldn't tell you what happened there at the end. It looked like Mark and Anthony lagged out for a little bit. Mark got back in on my screen, and by that time he'd already gone, I think, 2 laps down. So I hate that I got the 2nd place that way. I hate that. Those guys deserved it. They've been out front the whole race, but at the same time, I'm very happy to take 2nd place. It definitely was a good way to turn around from last week.
They call NASCAR a game of chess at high speeds, and you played it right. Put yourself in a position to get that 2nd place. You mentioned Thunhorse with the setup. Going forward, next week, Richmond. What do you expect out of that?
George.
Matthew Thunhorse.
You gotta step up.
Matthew George.
There you go.
Matthew gave you the setup. What do you expect next week at Richmond?
Yeah, he's definitely been showing up these last couple weeks. I'm horrific at making setups, so last couple weeks he's been making setups, and he's gradually getting better and better with them, and it's definitely showing. The results are starting to show it, and it's great. I'm loving it.
Well, hey, man, you didn't get it the way you wanted to. You said that yourself, but congratulations on a second-place finish. Well, it's been a crazy night. Thank you again for the show we put on tonight in memoria of those two gentlemen, and we thank you for coming out, putting on a good show, and congratulations on your second.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
And that was your second-place finisher, Justin Bland. I'm just happy his name doesn't start with an M. I'm done saying Matthew for the night, so Colin, you want to take this one?
Absolutely, John. I'm down in victory lane with the 51 of Justin Fuller making his ECR debut tonight. He did so in dramatic fashion. Justin Fuller, congratulations on your victory, man.
Thank you. It was a pretty fun race. We a lot of green valley runs there, and it was a lot of fun.
Now, and on a personal note, I have to say thank you for representing Shenango County well. I know not many people do that, but thank you for doing that.
Yeah, Denango. That's a great county to live in.
Well, either way, man, you got the victory. As long as you complete 13 races tonight, this season, you have 12 more to do, and you're in the chase, man. So that has to feel good going in. Now, obviously, it's just the first part of getting into the chase. You completed already, so congratulations on that as well.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I figured I had to run all the races to be in the chase, but that's news to me. So we'll take that. That's makes it even that much better.
Awesome. You did it in dominating fashion tonight, everybody. Justin Fuller in the 51. Congratulations on your victory, buddy.
Thank you.
And that was your winner tonight in his Cup debut, Justin Fuller. So, Colin, it's been one crazy night. We started off at the top of the hour with some audio issues. Again, I apologize for that. This will go up, though, as one long broadcast, and from there we had some somber notes speaking about the two gentlemen that passed away, but it quickly picked up, and we had some fun tonight. We ran a race that was quite exciting, and some closing thoughts.
I'm just everybody. I'm grateful for everybody in ECR to put on such a great show for Kris and his family and his 3 young children that unfortunately are going to have to grow up in a very difficult situation, and obviously for Steve Burns and his son and his wife as well, and everybody that knew and loved those two men. I'm just happy that we were able to put on such a great show tonight here in ECR for those two men.
And it was a blast, a great race and a great finish. And I quickly want to point out again on your screen right now is a number to call and donate if you have any cash you'd like to give. Again, Kris leaves behind 3 small children. We're going to have to grow up in, as Colin mentioned, a very difficult situation. So any little bit helps there. Nick Olson also mentioned much easier to find around the internet. There's plenty of links to donate. Steve Burns leaves behind a wife and a child, a young child. Bryson that has a college fund open for donation. If you'd like to donate there, there's donations to Stand Up to Cancer and different things like that. So a lot of different funds to help. Again, on screen right now is Kris Perryman's, and I'm sure you can find by a quick Google search the ones for Steve Burns. So we appreciate you all coming out tonight. Again, a tough night, a rough night. Again, I apologize. Colin and I weren't on our game, but we knew Kris well, and we've talked to him plenty of times, and this hit us. I know myself. I woke up this morning to the text and stuff like that. So a tough day today, a tough broadcast tonight, but we appreciate you all sticking with us and supporting and hanging out with us tonight. I know Colin and I have a lot of fun doing this, and on nights like tonight, it's still fun, but in the toughest of ways. So thank you all for coming out. We are live here next Tuesday, 9:23 Eastern. We go to Richmond next week, and again, we'll probably keep this information around with these funds and stuff. So we thank you for coming out tonight. Justin Fuller, your winner at Bristol in the Food City 250 in honor of Kris Perryman and Steve Burns. So thank you guys for coming out, and we'll catch you guys next Tuesday.